I raise dinosaurs in the apocalypse. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 301 Watermelon promoted to level 5. Uncle, can the watermelon you mentioned really help people advance to level 4? Lin Kong once bought Fanguonen's magical winter melon. As a pure person, after eating it, he immediately possessed 4 strands of spiritual energy. If he eats another 4 kilograms of winter melon today and another 2 kilograms of winter melon tomorrow, Lin Kong will officially become a new human of level 1. By then, he will also have superpowers. A winter melon alone has such an effect. So when Lin Kong heard Fanguonen talking about the watermelon, he also looked forward to it. It was precisely because of the magical plants planted by Fanguonen that Lin Kong wanted to conquer it. Actually, I'm not sure if I can advance to level 4. What I can be sure of is that this watermelon can definitely help people advance to level 5. Fanguonen thought seriously for a while and said. The first half of his sentence made Lin Kong's heart jump, and Fanguonen's second sentence surprised Lin Kong. You mean, your special watermelon can actually allow the new human of level 4 to break through to level 5? Yes, it can definitely be done. It is precisely because this watermelon can help Zhu Linian reach level 5 that Zhu Linian didn't kill me. After Fanguonen escaped from the control of Zhu Linian's beauty, his mind became much clearer, and he was able to naturally figure out why Zhu Linian wanted to live with him. And uncle, if the wind pterosaur hadn't been lost, Zhu Linian would never have left Fanguonen's residence. If Lin Kong's performance hadn't been too abnormal, which aroused Zhu Linian's great interest, Zhu Linian would most likely have killed Lin Kong, and then took him back to quietly wait for the watermelon to mature. Uncle, since your watermelon can make a level 4 new human promoted to level 5, the energy contained in that watermelon must be very huge. If you give it to a level 3 new human rashly, I'm afraid it will cause him to die. Lin Kong felt that watermelon could make a person promoted to level 5, but it might not make a person promoted to level 4. So, he asked again, do you have other special vegetables? Yes, but those eggplants, cucumbers, winter melons, and pumpkins are all special plants that can change the color of the body, quickly recover, increase spiritual energy, and enhance strength. They are not special plants that can make people promoted. Fanguonen spread his hands and expressed helplessness. So, there is no other way except trying watermelon. Okay. Then how do you grow a watermelon? How do you know the effect of this watermelon? Then, Lin Kong asked many more questions. Fanguonen also answered everything he knew. Whatever Lin Kong asked, he honestly told Lin Kong everything he knew. Finally, Lin Kong knew that the planting methods of those magical vegetables were very simple, and only required some dung of mutant beasts. For example, the winter melon that could increase spiritual energy was grown by planting ordinary winter melon seeds on the dung of the wind pterosaur. As for the watermelon that could allow new humans to be promoted to level 5, it was ordinary watermelon seeds planted on the dung of various mutant beasts. There were dung of wind pterosaurs, wind god pterosaurs, and bird droppings of mutated giant sparrows. In short, it was a mixture of various fertilizers that gave birth to the watermelon. Calculating the time, Fanguonen estimated that the promotion watermelon was probably ripe. So fast, Lin Kong found that the seeds of this promotion watermelon were planted 3 days ago. In just 3 days, it took this seed to germinate, grow vines, produce flowers, form watermelons, grow and mature, and other long processes. Ordinary watermelons originally took at least 5 or 6 months, but this watermelon only took 3 days. Lin, you still have too little experience. The eggplant I planted matured in 1 day. This promotion watermelon is still considered slow growing, Fanguonen said proudly. Obviously, he was very confident in the vegetables he planted. In fact, his confidence was justified, because even if other people had the same superpower, beast communication, as him, they could not plant special plants with magical effects like Fanguonen. Fanguonen's beast communication can not only talk to cats and dogs, but also communicate with microorganisms in the soil. Therefore, he can know the effects of the feces of various mutant beasts. It was the various microorganisms produced after the feces and soil were mixed that told Fanguonin. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Although Fanguonin's beast communication is not as good as Zulinian's, Queen of Beasts, in control, Fanguonin treats those beasts, animals, and various microorganisms as partners. Naturally, those little creatures would treat Fanguonin as a reliable partner, so they would tell Fanguonin more valuable information. Since your promotion watermelon grows so fast, why is Zulinian still at level 4? Theoretically, she should have been promoted to level 5 a long time ago. Lin Kong suddenly thought of a key question. If Zulinian took the promotion watermelon and became a level 5 expert, then no matter how many sneak attacks Lin Kong had, it would be impossible to defeat Zulinian. It's like this, that promotion watermelon does not necessarily make people become level 5 experts 100% of the time. Then what is the probability of successful promotion? About 1 in 1,000, Fanguonin answered after thinking for a while. After listening to this, Lin Kong sighed and said, "Doesn't it mean that you have to eat 1,000 watermelons to be promoted to level 5? Yes, Zulinian eats a lot of promotion watermelons every day, but her luck is relatively bad. She has eaten 400 or 500 and still hasn't been promoted to level 5. Fanguonin touched his nose and said, although Zulinian ate 400 or 500 and still did not advance to level 5, she could feel a glimmer of hope for advancement. So she spared Fanguonin's life and did not kill him immediately, because only Fanguonin could grow those promotion watermelons. Even if Zulinian used all the mutated animal feces correctly, Zulinian's superpower, Queen of Beasts, could only control the movements of animals, but could not know the specific working methods of those microorganisms, and could not control the microorganisms in feces for plant growth. In short, only Fanguonin could grow those special vegetables, and no one else could. Then let's do this. I'll fly back to where you live, and we'll go study your watermelons. Lin Kong jumped onto the 7 black balls. Okay. Fanguonin stood up and walked towards the wind god pterosaur not far away. Chapter 302 Crazy Growing Watermelon. Uncle, the Quetzalcoatl is too slow. You should come and ride this black ball with me. Lin Kong called Fanguonin. The speed of the Quetzalcoatl is 100 meters per second. The speed of the 7 black ball 10 minutes ago was 150 meters per second. Just now, after the 7 black ball absorbed about 10,000 words of soul mist liquid from the needle giant mosquito, its size became larger again, and its speed became faster. A level 3 needle giant mosquito has 3 drops of soul mist liquid. Therefore, 10,000 words of needle giant mosquito is 30,000 drops. The number of times is about 3,000 words. Then, the release limit of 7 black freeze has changed from the original 5,200 times to 8,200 times. A rough estimate shows that the diameter of the 7 black ball has changed from 1.8 meters to 2 meters. Since the number of skills and volume have increased, the speed must have increased a lot. Lin Kong decided to take Fanguonin to test the maximum flight speed of the 7 black ball. Can your strange ball see 2 people? Fanguonin was a little hesitant. He felt that the strange black ball exuded a dangerous and cold atmosphere. Moreover, the 7 black balls had just sprayed Fanguonin with a particularly cold gas. Therefore, Fanguonin was quite resistant to this. Of course it can see 2 people. My black ball can be transformed. As he said this, Lin Kong also used his mind to command the 7 black balls to change. Sometimes it turned into an oval rugby ball, sometimes it turned into a pirate ship in the amusement park, and sometimes it turned into a big plate. Fanguonin looked at the magical changes of the 7 black balls, and his expression also looked eager to try. Okay, then I'll get up. Fanguonin walked over, but at this time, a special stench entered Fanguonin's nose. Fanguonin was a little disgusted at first. He turned his head and found that the Tyrannosaurus rex was pooping in the grass. The Tyrannosaurus rex was fiery red, and its poop was also glowing red like burning charcoal. However, even if the poop glowed red, it still didn't smell good. Fanguonin pinched his nose, not wanting to smell the smell of Tyrannosaurus rex's poop again. Hutilda. Lin Kong stopped the 7 black balls next to Fanguonan. Fanguonan was about to jump onto the 7 black balls. Suddenly, why are those microorganisms so happy? Fanguonan's beast communication made him very sensitive. He could easily know the joys and sorrows of the ants under his feet. Naturally, he could also find the joy of those microorganisms after encountering the Tyrannosaurus rex's poop. As long as they were happy, Fanguonan knew that the Tyrannosaurus rex's poop had a very great effect. Lin, wait a minute, let me get a watermelon seed and try the effect of the red poop. After saying that, Fanguonan went to study the red poop of the Tyrannosaurus rex excitedly. Fanguonan found a cup and filled it with half a cup of soil. The soil was mixed with a little red stuff. That was the red poop of the Tyrannosaurus rex. Lin Kong pinched his nose and watched Fanguonan curiously. After releasing the Tyrannosaurus rex feces, Fanguonan set fire everywhere to create some black ashes and poured them into the cup. Then, Fanguonan took out a large bag of seeds from his arms. There were various small bags in the big bag, and various labels were attached to the small bags, including wintermelon, watermelon, pumpkin, and cucumber. This large bag of seeds was the most important thing for Fanguonan, therefore, he always carried it with him. From the small bag, Fanguonan took out 3 watermelon seeds and put them in the cup. Lin, you hold these seeds for me. Oh, okay. Lin Kong took the seeds. After mixing the fertilizer and putting in the watermelon seeds, the last step was to water to induce birth. Fanguonan walked quickly to the bathroom with the cup and turned on the faucet. Sure enough, there was water. When the water in the cup submerged all the fertilizers, Fanguonan circulated his spiritual energy. His hands were shining with pure white light. Fanguonan's expression was very serious and focused. He gently placed his palms on both sides of the water cup. A wisp of spiritual energy passed through the glass wall of the cup and entered the water inside. Gurgle tilde, as if it was boiling. The water in the cup kept emitting small white bubbles. The original text is available at 6:9. However, no hot air escaped. This shows that the temperature of the water in the cup is not very high. This is not the water boiling, but catalysis. Fanguonan explained. After ordinary water is integrated with Fanguonan's spiritual energy, it can catalyze the growth of seeds after a special frequency of vibration. After a while, a touch of green bloomed. The watermelon seeds sprouted. Looking at this scene, Lin Kong also felt very novel. Ordinary seeds take at least 1 or 2 days to sprout. As a result, this watermelon seed sprouted in less than half a minute. Not only did it sprout, but it also began to grow rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. The buds were originally tender green, but after more than 10 seconds, they turned into emerald green watermelon seedlings. Fanguonan put down 3 watermelon seeds in total. Under the catalysis of his spiritual energy, these 3 watermelon seeds successfully turned into 3 emerald green watermelon seedlings. These 3 watermelon seedlings, shoulder to shoulder, squeezed into the narrow cup, looked very lively. Uncle, do you want to continue? Don't you want to take a break? Lin Kong found that after Fanguonan finished the process of watering catalysis, beads of sweat flowed from his forehead. It seems that this job is not an easy task. Lin Kong is more concerned about Fanguonan's health, worried that he will damage his body all of a sudden. No need to rest, this is just the beginning. Fanguonan shook his head and replied, because of the process of the seeds germinating and turning into watermelon seedlings just now, the clear water in the cup has been almost absorbed. So Fanguonan added some water to the cup. Then, he repeated the process just now, pressing his palms tightly on both sides of the water cup. Gulielu tilde. The water began to boil, and the soil and the red excrement of the Tyrannosaurus rex inside also rolled inside. The spiritual energy catalyzed, and continued. Swish tilde. The 3 watermelon seedlings began to grow rapidly again. Their vines climbed out of the mouth of the cup, continue to grow. Their vines fell on the back of Fanguonan's hand, continue to catalyze, continue to grow. The vines of these watermelon seedlings have passed the back of Fanguonan's hand and hung in the air. Lin Kong estimated that the length of these watermelon seedlings was about 1 meter. Chapter 303 Watermelon Ripening. After the 3 watermelon seedlings grew to 1 meter, Fanguonen's eyes were already filled with bloodshot. But he did not stop there. He turned on the tap and continued to pour water into the cup. The spiritual energy catalysis started again. Gulilu in the cup. The red excrement of the Tyrannosaurus rex was gradually becoming dim. The growth rate of the watermelon seedlings also slowed down. Seeing this scene, Fanguonen ordered unceremoniously, "Lin, hurry up and get some more Tyrannosaurus rex feces." When Fanguonen was catalyzing the plants, his attitude was very meticulous. Due to excessive involvement, he even forgot that his spiritual energy beads had been mastered by Lin Kong, so his tone when speaking seemed unquestionable. However, Lin Kong was not angry at Fanguonen's tone as if he was ordering his subordinates. He quickly turned around, pinched his nose, picked up some red excrement of the Tyrannosaurus rex with a stick, and added it to the soil in the cup. With good fertilizer, the 3 watermelon seedlings grew rapidly again. Pieces of plump leaves emerged from the vines of the watermelon seedlings. After using up 2 more cups of water, the vines of the watermelon seedlings not only covered the entire sink, but also covered it with lush watermelon leaves. The changes in the bathroom attracted the attention of Li Minutes, Wu Fei and others. At this moment, the 9 level 2 new humans had also rushed over and started collecting mosquito spirit cores. Therefore, Li Minutes, Wu Fei and Zi Wang did not have to collect spirit cores themselves for the time being. They came to the door of the bathroom, staring at the scene in the bathroom with wide eyes, and sighed, "Fuck, is this magic?" In just a short time, the watermelon seedlings that just emerged have grown to such a prosperous state. I always thought that this uncle was a poor man abused by Zhu Linyun, but I didn't expect that the uncle is still a serious craftsman. When it comes to growing watermelons, it's like cheating. I admire you. No wonder Zhu Linyun, that bastard, always takes the uncle with him. It turns out that the uncle has special skills. Everyone praised. But Zi Wang found that Fanguonen's spirit had fallen into a state of fatigue through his perspective eyes. So Zi Wang reminded him, "This old man, take it easy. Be careful not to overwork and die suddenly." Although Fanguonen was already pale with fatigue, the light in his eyes became brighter and brighter. Faced with Zi Wang's kind reminder, Fanguonen ignored it, circulate the spiritual energy and continue to catalyze. The seeds awaken, sprout and break through the soil. The vines grow. Next, it is flowering and fruiting. Not long after, one by one, the flower buds emerge from the watermelon vines. Then, these flower buds bloom and turn into yellow flowers. After the flowers bloom, it is fruiting. However, before the fruiting, the most critical step must be carried out, pollination. Fanguonen walked out of the hotel and looked around, but did not find any traces of bees. There was no choice but to go back to the bathroom for artificial pollination. After a while of operation, the pollination was completed. Finally, the flowers turned into melons. Fanguonen still used the method of spiritual energy catalysis. However, at this time, he had transplanted the roots of the watermelon to the street ground at the hotel gate. The small cup was obviously unable to accommodate the huge and complicated roots of the watermelon seedlings. Fanguonen's glowing hands, palms down, pressed on the muddy ground. Fanguonen ordered, "Pour water." Lin Kong, who was holding a bucket beside him, "Okay." At this moment, Lin Kong seemed to have become Fanguonen's little assistant. Fanguonen asked him to pour water, and he immediately poured water carefully. Fanguonen, "Stop." "Okay." Lin Kong stopped immediately. Fanguonen used all his strength to circulate the spiritual energy in his body. Tick-tick. This was the slight sound of sweat beads on Fanguonen's forehead falling to the ground. Everyone held their breath and watched the changes in the watermelon flowers quietly. I saw those yellow flowers blooming bigger and bigger, and then withering. Along with the withering of the flowers, a small green watermelon grew out. This small watermelon, as if it had been injected with chicken blood, grew rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye, the size of a beet, the size of a ping-pong ball, the size of a baseball, the size of a fist. Dozens of watermelons on the 3 vines grew bigger and bigger as time went by. Finally, when they all grew to the size of a rice cooker, Fang Guonan put away the spiritual energy in his palm. The original text is available at Liu number 9/. His spiritual energy was originally white and glowing, but at this moment, it can be seen that Fang Guonan's spiritual energy has turned gray and dim. Therefore, Fang Guonan's spiritual energy has been exhausted. He must recover for a while before he can continue to use spiritual energy. However, fortunately, he has successfully turned 3 watermelon seeds into 20 or 30 watermelons. Fang Guonan seems to have experienced a great battle. He sat on the ground with his buttocks and tiredly ordered, "Lin, pick a watermelon and let me see it." "Okay, uncle." Lin Kong had long wanted to see the weight of this watermelon. When he heard Fang Guonan's words, Lin Kong ran over and picked the largest watermelon from the vine. Bang bang! The watermelon patted twice. "Hey Tilda, it's ripe." Watermelons are sweet and delicious. Lin Kong likes to eat watermelons very much, so he is also quite familiar with watermelons. Just patting a few times with his palm, and hearing the dull sound coming from inside, Lin Kong knew that the watermelon in his hand was already ripe. Walking quickly to Fang Guonan, Lin Kong handed the melon over. He wanted to split the melon with one hand, but Lin Kong finally held back. Uncle Fang Guonan spent so much effort to turn 3 seeds into real watermelons. With such a great contribution, Fang Guonan should open the first watermelon. Fang Guonan took the watermelon. Because he was overworked, he wanted to break the watermelon, but found that his hands were too weak. Fang Guonan tried twice, but both failed. The watermelon lay in front of him safely. "Here, uncle, give you a knife." Lin Kong silently took out the watermelon knife. Since the Orange Village, Lin Kong has carried 2 watermelon knives with him. These 2 watermelon knives helped Lin Kong kill many zombies and cut many people. However, they have never broken a watermelon. A watermelon knife that has never cut a watermelon is not worthy of being called a watermelon knife. Finally, at this moment, Lin Kong's watermelon knife finally came in handy. Fang Guonan took the machete and cut it hard. Swish! The watermelon was split in half. Sure enough, there was bright red watermelon flesh inside. Lin Kong was drooling when he saw it. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 304, Tyrannosaurus Rex is about to reach level 4. After breaking the watermelon, Fang Guonan was the first to eat. He picked up a small piece with a watermelon knife and put it in his mouth, chewed it carefully for a few times, and then swallowed it into his stomach. Then, Fang Guonan closed his eyes. "How is it? How is it? How does it taste, uncle?" Lin Kong asked eagerly. Although Wang stored a lot of food and fruits in the gathering place, there was no watermelon. Therefore, Lin Kong had not eaten watermelon for a long time. So, Lin Kong looked at the watermelon flesh that exuded an attractive fragrance, and his eyes lit up, like a pervert seeing a beautiful woman without clothes. The uncle heard Lin Kong's question and did not answer. He just handed the watermelon to Lin Kong, and then closed his eyes and continued to savor it. Lin Kong took the watermelon. He gave half of it to Wu Fei, and took the other half and ate it. After Lin Kong took a bite, he immediately closed his eyes. Wu Fei took a bite immediately, with a comfortable expression on his face, as if he was so comfortable that his soul flew away. Li Minutes pulled out his dagger and dug a piece of watermelon flesh to taste. He couldn't help but exclaimed, "Wow Tilda, so sweet, so delicious Tilda." After taking a bite, Li Minutes felt that his body and mind seemed to have come to the white clouds in an instant. The white clouds were soft and sweet. Li Minutes closed his eyes in comfort and carefully felt the cool feeling coming from his stomach. Not only did his body and mind become happy, but even the spiritual energy in his danshan seemed to become more active. When everyone was once in the delicious sweetness of watermelon, as long as Wang resisted his impulse, he activated his perspective eyes and carefully observed the changes in everyone's body. Obviously, the spiritual energy in everyone's body has been strengthened to a certain extent. Moreover, The amount of spiritual energy has also increased a little bit. There is about 1,000th of spiritual energy. Although 1,000th of spiritual energy looks very little, don't forget that everyone only took a bite. One bite produced 1,000th of spiritual energy. So, if 10 bites, 100 bites, 1,000 bites. To advance from level 3 to level 4, you only need to increase your spiritual energy by 10 strands. 10 strands of spiritual energy, converted into the number of watermelons, is about 10,000 bites. A watermelon has about 100 bites. So, converted, it is 10 strands of spiritual energy. About 100 watermelons are needed. In other words, to advance from level 3 to level 4, you only need to eat 100 watermelons. This condition is too simple. Zi Wang couldn't believe this conclusion, so he told Lin Kong his speculation just now. Lin Kong ate the watermelon in his hand while listening to Zi Wang's analysis. This is indeed too easy. Turning his head, Lin Kong asked Fang Guonan again, "Uncle, what do you think? Do you think this watermelon is reliable? Can it allow a new human of level 3 to be promoted to level 4? Fang Guonan picked a fresh watermelon and answered affirmatively. In fact, it is not very difficult to upgrade from level 3 to level 4. 100 watermelons are almost enough. Moreover, this special watermelon is different from the winter melon that increases spiritual energy. The restrictions of this watermelon are much smaller. New humans of level 3 can eat it all the way to level 4, and new humans of level 4 can eat another kind of watermelon and directly upgrade to level 5. After hearing Fang Guonan's conclusion, Lin Kong was very happy. What he had been worried about was the method of promotion to level 4 and level 5. According to Lin Kong's estimation, the strength of his side must all reach level 5 before they are qualified to go to the laboratory to fight against the level 6 president. Now, the method of promotion to level 4 and level 5 has been placed in front of Lin Kong. In this way, Lin Kong does not have to enter the gathering place in Ziyang City. I've decided. Let's go back to Uncle Fang Guonan's house first. Let's transplant all the plants in his house first, and then we will continue to head north. Lin Kong told everyone his idea. Anyway, they have 4 huge Quetzalcoatlus. The original text is in Liu number 9/. It is entirely possible to plant those plants on special wooden racks, and then carry these plants with them and head to the location of the laboratory together. Anyway, after everyone becomes a new human, they are very strong. Even if those wooden racks for planting vegetables are heavy, they can still lift them. Okay. Fang Guonan nodded and agreed with Lin Kong's move. Anyway, it is the end of the world now, and there is no shortage of places to live. Unlike in peacetime, you can only afford to buy a house after working hard all your life. Now, the end of the world is coming. As long as your fist is strong enough, you can beat zombies and mutant beasts, and you can live in any house in the world. And Fang Guonan, who is level 4, obviously already has such a strong strength. Then, Lin Kong distributed all the watermelons. There are a total of 25 watermelons here. Everyone can eat one to taste, and the rest will all be given to my Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let the Tyrannosaurus Rex upgrade to level 4 first, and then it will be your turn to upgrade. Do you have any objections to this distribution? Wu Fei and Li Minutes, both led by Lin Kong, naturally had no objections. No problem, squad leader Lin. The stronger you are, the safer we will be. Although Zi Wang was eager for strength, in terms of cost effectiveness, letting the Tyrannosaurus Rex upgrade to level 4 first was undoubtedly the best choice, so Zi Wang had to agree. In addition, in order to allow Fang Guonan to recover his spirit as soon as possible so that he could produce more watermelons again, Zi Wang had to be responsible for his treatment and blue. With Zi Wang's help, Fang Guonan's pale face gradually became ruddy, and the spiritual energy in his body gradually returned to white from gray. Seeing this scene, Lin Kong was very satisfied. Fortunately, I had foresight and forced to bring Zi Wang, a priest, into the team. As long as Fang Guonan's body recovers quickly enough, he can produce more watermelons faster. In this way, the upgrade speed of everyone will be greatly improved. Half an hour later, the spirit cores of those needle giant mosquitoes have all been dug out. The Tyrannosaurus Rex has also eaten all the remaining 20 watermelons. Lin Kong touched the body of the Tyrannosaurus Rex with his hand and felt it carefully. Sure enough, there were 2 more strands of spirit energy in the body of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then, the Tyrannosaurus Rex only needs to eat another 80 watermelons to successfully upgrade from level 3 to level 4. Let's go. Let's fly back to Fang Guonan's home first. Lin Kong took Wu Fei, Li Minutes and others, including the 9 level 2 new humans who specialized in digging spirit cores, all boarded the wind god pterosaur and flew to Fang Guonan's home. The 9 level 2 new humans were all riding the level 4 mutant beast wind god pterosaur for the first time, and they seemed very excited. Chapter 305 Shenzhu's partner. When the group was returning on the Elis, they naturally encountered the giant sparrows in the sky again. Then, the forest pterosaur decisively activated its superpower, Lord of Wings. Although the forest pterosaur can only control 5 or 6 level 4 mutant beasts, it can control 5 or 600 level 3 mutant beasts. Therefore, when its Lord of Wings was activated, 5 or 600 level 3 giant sparrows immediately rebelled and turned to attack other of the same kind. Because most of this group of giant sparrows are level 4 giant sparrows, even with the help of Lord of Wings, everyone can't wipe out this group of giant sparrows. However, Lin Kong never thought of completely destroying this group of giant sparrows. Just let them fall into chaos temporarily. When they were fighting each other, Lin Kong and everyone had already left on the Elis. After having the new dinosaur, not only has the overall combat power increased a lot, but even traveling has become unexpectedly easy. Lin Kong likes the Lord of Wings of the forest pterosaur very much. In order to prevent harassment from other flying mutant beasts, Lin Kong also let the forest pterosaur control about 100 level 3 giant sparrows to act as bodyguards for everyone. Whenever he encounters a powerful flying mutant beast, Lin Kong will directly let these level 3 giant sparrows rush up to lead the enemy away. After successfully resolving the threat in the air, Lin Kong flew at full speed and returned to Fang Guonan's home in just 1.5 hours. Everyone spent another hour making wooden racks and moving away all the more valuable special plants in the vegetable garden. Everything went quite smoothly, although there were several special mutant beasts and more than 10 mutant zombies around. With the help of Fang Guonan's beast communication and Zhuge Corpse, the mutant beasts and mutant zombies had already exposed their whereabouts before they came over, and then they were rushed over and killed instantly by everyone. After moving the special plants in the vegetable garden, Lin Kong stepped on the 7 black balls again, carrying 4 Quetzalcoatlus and 1 tornado pterosaur, and began to fly north. Since there are already ways to advance to level 4 and level 5, Lin Kong does not need to rush to the large gathering place in Xiong City. Lin Kong decided not to go to the gathering place in Xiong City. He wanted to rush to the laboratory where the chairman was in the north as quickly as possible. The earlier he went, the more time he would have to collect intelligence. No matter when, intelligence is always the most important thing. With intelligence, we can formulate plans for attack, retreat, etc. With intelligence, we will not fall into the enemy's trap. With intelligence, Lin Kong's actions will have a tolerance rate, and even if he fails, there are ways to find opportunities for a comeback. In terms of intelligence, Lin Kong just happened to have a very good teammate, Li Minutes. Her superpower, yes or no, can quickly and effectively obtain important intelligence. The condition is that Lin Kong needs to capture the chairman's men alive. Of course, Lin Kong didn't know that the 3 pink-coated gunmen were secretly watching his every move. Lin Kong also didn't know that Zhu Linian was the team leader of the car. If Lin Kong knew that Zhu Linian was the team leader of the car, he wouldn't have killed her. The biggest possibility is to freeze Zhu Linian's body, just like Murongjing, so that she is in a situation where she can't live or die, and it is also convenient for Li Minutes to use the superpower of yes or no to torture Zhu Linian. Who tilde. Everyone was flying in the air. When they reached the edge of Xiong City, Lin Kong decided to lower the altitude. Brother Lin Kong, why do you want to lower the altitude? Don't you have that little green pterosaur? You don't have to be afraid of those flying creatures in the sky, because those flying creatures must have wings. As long as they have wings, They will definitely be controlled by the little green pterosaur. Zi Wang was a little puzzled by Lin Kong's behavior. Lin Kong touched his nose and said, "Actually, I also want to fly fast in the sky, but my intuition tells me that I must lower the altitude, otherwise, I will encounter very terrible danger." Since the Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus Rex were upgraded to level 3, Lin Kong's intuition for sensing danger has become much stronger. Zi Wang was speechless after listening to Lin Kong's intuition. Intuition? Okay, then let's fly at low altitude. When flying at low altitude, you can't fly too fast, because there are many mutant beasts and mutant zombies that can jump directly from the ground to low altitude. If the speed is too fast, it is very likely that a collision event will occur. The collision during high-speed flight will contain huge energy. The original text is available at LU number 9/. If you accidentally hit your head, you may suddenly die. If you die because of a collision event, it would be a pity. Everyone was concentrating on the obstacles ahead while flying at low altitude on the Quetzalcoatl. When Lin Kong and his group were flying at low altitude, at the same time, near the previous hotel, 3 people in different clothes were riding motorcycles, driving rapidly through the tall grass. Under normal circumstances, it would be very difficult to drive a motorcycle in the thick and tall grass. However, where the 3 motorcycles were about to pass, the weeds seemed to sense something and automatically lay down on the ground. Thus, a flat road appeared between the lush grass. The 3 people drove the motorcycles and drove quickly on this flat road paved with weeds. When the motorcycles passed, the weeds behind the 3 people actually stood up again. A breeze blew, hua 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 tilde. The tall and lush weeds swayed with the breeze, rubbing against each other, making bursts of noise. As if no motorcycles passed by, the plants returned to their original state. One of the 3, a middle-aged man with a scar, looked at the neatly lined grass behind him and couldn't help but sigh to his companion next to him. "Great, green hair, your superpower of plant communication is getting more and more sophisticated." The young man with green hair said modestly, "Hee, it's just a little trick. How can it compare to your Earth's wrath, Scar brother?" The remaining person was a bald strong man. He frowned and asked the green-haired young man, "Stop chatting, and ask the nearby plants to see where Shenzhou is." Chapter 306 Mental Interference. Hearing the question from the bald man, the green-haired young man hurriedly and cautiously answered, "It's just in front, and will be there in a little while." The bald man said coldly. He tightened the throttle, and increased the speed of the motorcycle by a few points. Knowing that the bald man was concerned about Shenzhou's safety, Zhu Ba, who had a scar on his face, did not dare to chat with the green-haired young man anymore. He also accelerated the speed of the motorcycle under him, followed the bald man, and ran straight to the location of the hotel. It is worth mentioning that the bald man's name is Zhao Guang. Shenzhou once saved Zhao Guang's life when she was surrounded by zombies. Zhao Guang's superpower is mental interference. This superpower can not only interfere with the enemy's mental state, but also sense the mental state of specific companions from a distance. Zhao Guang knew that Shenzhou's mental state has always been bad. As long as she suffered a major blow, Shenzhou would fall into a state of confusion like a zombie. If this state lasts too long, Shenzhou will become a complete mental patient. Fortunately, Zhao Guang's superpower, mental interference, can restore Shenzhou's bad mental condition in close contact. In short, Zhao Guang is a psychiatrist. However, he has to use his hands to get close to Shenzhou's body in order to give her the necessary mental treatment. In other words, Zhao Guang must rush to Shenzhou's side as soon as possible. He is very worried about the safety of Shenzhou, his savior. There are a lot of mutant beasts and a small number of zombies in the Xiong City area, and Shenzhou's superpower is zombie communication. Once she becomes mentally ill and falls into the state of Walking Dead, then she will be completely unable to resist the attack of mutant beasts. "I hope Xur will be fine," the bald strong man Zhao Guang prayed secretly in his heart. With the help of the green-haired young man's plant communication, everyone's motorcycles were unimpeded all the way. Soon, they arrived at the door of the hotel. "This is it," the green-haired young man shouted loudly. Everyone's motorcycles stopped immediately. Zhao Guang jumped off the motorcycle and quickly scanned the surroundings. but did not find any trace of Shen Zhu. Turning his head, Zhao Guang grabbed the green-haired young man and asked anxiously, "Where exactly is she?" Although Zhao Guang's mental interference can detect the mental state of a specific companion, he cannot rely on his superpowers to lock the location of his companions. In other words, even if Shen Zhu was standing behind Zhao Guang at this moment, Zhao Guang would not be able to know where Shen Zhu was. The task of searching for Shen Zhu still had to be handed over to the green-haired young man who possessed planned communication. The green-haired young man calmed his mind and activated his superpowers again. He quickly asked the nearby plants, and after 4 or 5 seconds, he got useful information. These plants said that Shen Zhu was frozen by an ice ball and then carried into the hotel. I don't know exactly where in the hotel it is, because the hotel is all concrete and there is no plant, and my superpower, plant communication, is useless. The green-haired young man did not dare to hide anything, and he told Zhao Guang all the information he got from the plants. After listening, Zhao Guang took the lead and rushed into the hotel. "You guys come in too, and look for it separately. It will be faster this way." "Okay." The green-haired young man and the scarred man Zhu Bao followed Zhao Guang's figure and rushed into the hotel. Not long after, the scarred man Zhu Bao found Shen Zhu in the bathroom, who kept banging her head against the wall. He quickly shouted loudly, "Zhao Guang, Shen Zhu is here." Zhao Guang and the green-haired young man heard the scarred man Zhu Bao's voice and immediately rushed to the bathroom. Zhao Guang rushed to Zhao Zhu with a cry, and put his palm in front of Shen Zhu's forehead. Shen Zhu had been banging her head against the wall just now. Because of the excessive force, the skin on her forehead peeled off, and a trace of blood seeped out. However, as a new human of level 4, Shen Zhu's skin had just been broken, and within 2 or 3 seconds, new skin grew out. In other words, even if Shen Zhu banged her head in the bathroom for 3 days and 3 nights, there would be no damage. However, seeing Shen Zhu's annoyed expression, Zhao Guang's heart ached, and he put his hand on Shen Zhu's forehead to relieve the injury of her head hitting the wall. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Although these injuries were insignificant to Shen Zhu, bang bang bang. Even though Zhao Guang's hand on her forehead blocked it, Shen Zhu continued to bang against the wall. She wanted to commit suicide. She wanted to bang her head to pieces. Just like before, when she punched her zombie friend in the head, Shen Zhu felt that she had to atone for her sins. She had to kill herself to pay for the great sin of killing her zombie friend. Seeing that Shen Zhu didn't care about others at all and continued to hit the wall repeatedly, Zhao Guang understood that Shen Zhu's mind had fallen into a bad state. Shen Zhu's mind was already very fragile, and Zhao Guang was worried that her mind would collapse because of this. Shen Zhu must be restored to normal as soon as possible, and she must not be in a bad mental state for a long time. So, the superpower, mental interference, was activated. As Zhao Guang's superpower was activated, the air around his body slowly rotated. Then, a small tornado was formed, wrapping Zhao Guang and Shen Zhu's body together. As the special vibration of Zhao Guang's spiritual energy, the tornado that wrapped his body suddenly emitted a hazy purple light. This purple light was the same as the light produced when Li Minutes activated her superpower, yes or no? Because, mental interference, and, yes or no, these two superpowers, are the control of the human mind, so their aura will change from white light to hazy purple light. So, if you see a hazy purple light appear when the enemy activates his superpower in the future, then the superpower of this enemy is the superpower of mental control. Mental control is usually very insidious and difficult to resist. Therefore, when facing an enemy of mental control, you must be careful of your mind and not be controlled. As we all know, if you want to treat mental illness, you have to know the root cause of the disease. Only by knowing the root cause can Zhao Guang carry out effective treatment in a targeted manner. So, after Zhao Guang activated his superpower, he found something in Shen Zhu's head that made him very angry. Chapter 307 Purple Tornado. Inside the hotel bathroom, there was a tornado 2 meters high and 1 meter in diameter, wrapping around Zhao Guang and Shen Zhu. This tornado was not the yellow color in the desert, but was emitting a hazy purple light. The green-haired young man and the scarred man Zhu Ba, who were standing next to them, couldn't help but feel dizzy when they saw the purple light. They hurriedly left the bathroom to prevent Zhao Guang's superpowers from affecting their mental power. It is said that if some ordinary people stand next to Zhao Guang, once Zhao Guang activates his superpower, mental interference, this ordinary person will directly become a madman. The green-haired young man and the scarred man Zhu Ba, like Zhao Guang, are both new humans at level 4, but they dare not get too close to Zhao Guang, who is using his superpowers. After Zhao Guang activated mental interference, he first roughly checked Shen Zhu's mental world. Although the purple tornado next to Zhao Guang was spinning whooshing, Zhao Guang's mind was very calm. He closed his eyes and held his breath. Zhao Guang's thoughts directly connected to Shen Zhu's mind. In her mind, there were densely packed nerve branches, and on each nerve branch, there were various memory bubbles. In these memory bubbles, there were various pictures. Zhao Guang glanced casually and saw the memory bubbles of Shen Zhu taking a bath a few days ago. In the bubble, Shen Zhu was wiping her body with a towel. Zhao Guang quickly shifted his gaze from the memory bubbles of taking a bath. These erotic memory bubbles can be left for later appreciation. The most important thing now is to find the memory that made Shen Zhu insane. Because Zhao Guang always pays attention to Shen Zhu's mental state, he is very sure that Shen Zhu's mental deterioration happened a few hours ago. Therefore, Zhao Guang only needs to follow Shen Zhu's memory bubbles and search from now to the past. Following a nerve branch all the way, Zhao Guang found that Shen Zhu's memory bubbles have been showing that she repeatedly hit the wall. Shen Zhu must not have become insane because of hitting the wall. We have to keep looking back. Got it. Zhao Guang quickly found the scene where Lin Kong roasted Shen Zhu with fire. Seeing this memory bubble scene, Zhao Guang was very angry at first. He memorized the image of Lin Kong with 3 horns and dark green skin deeply in his mind, and decided to kill Lin Kong, the bastard. However, when Zhao Guang continued to look back, he found that Lin Kong was not roasting Shen Zhu with fire, but to melt the ice ball on Shen Zhu's body. After discovering this deep-seated reason, Zhao Guang felt that he had misunderstood Lin Kong, and he no longer decided to kill Lin Kong. Zhao Guang then continued to look back to see which bastard froze his lifesaver Shen Zhu into such a miserable state. As a result, it was this bastard with horns on his head and green skin again. Zhao Guang became extremely angry, and he wanted to pull off the 3 horns on Lin Kong's head one by one, and then stuff them into Lin Kong's chrysanthemum. However, Zhao Guang's mood was a little uncertain, because, just now, Zhao Guang misunderstood Lin Kong once. So, Zhao Guang guessed in his heart, this triangle green man froze Xor into the miserable state. Is there another hidden reason? Zhao Guang suppressed his anger and continued to look through Shen Zhu's past memory bubbles. However, this time, Zhao Guang found that he did not misunderstand this damn triangle green man. Memory bubbles can not only faithfully record the images that Shen Zhu saw, but also record the sounds that Shen Zhu heard. Therefore, he heard the vicious suggestion made by the triangle green man to the peerless beauty Zhu Linyun. The suggestion to keep killing zombies in front of Shen Zhu. Angry, super angry, Zhao Guang clenched his fists, and veins on his forehead were already bulging. However, Lin Kong's vicious suggestion was not the culprit that caused Shen Zhu's mental disorder. Therefore, Zhao Guang had to continue to look through the past memory bubbles. After a while, Zhao Guang discovered the real reason for Shen Zhu's mental disorder through the memory bubble. The peerless beauty Zhu Linyun made Shen Zhu accidentally kill a zombie friend. After finding out the real reason, Zhao Guang's teeth were clacking, and he roared to the sky, "Ah, stinky bitch, I'm going to kill you." Zhao Guang was extremely angry about Zhu Linyun's vicious behavior. He had to kill Zhu Linyun. As Zhao Guang's mood fluctuated violently, the purple tornado beside him suddenly expanded rapidly. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. The tornado, which was originally 1 meter in diameter, became 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters. This purple tornado ignored the physical wall. The purple tornado directly penetrated the wall, and the wall was safe and sound, and not even a piece of white wall skin fell off. However, a gecko resting on the wall, after encountering the purple tornado, the pupils of both eyes lost focus instantly, and this gecko also fell from the wall with a click. It lay on the ground, motionless, White foam kept coming out of its mouth. It seemed that this gecko went insane after encountering the purple tornado. What was even more terrible was that after Zhao Guang's purple tornado expanded to 4 meters, it did not end. 5 meters. 6 meters. 7 meters. The diameter of this purple tornado was expanding rapidly. Various small animals on the ground, such as ants on the ground, centipedes burrowing into the soil, and mice crawling in the underground sewers. After being blown by this purple tornado, they immediately fell to the ground, twitching all over, and foaming at the mouth. All creatures with a lower level than Zhao Guang were all insane. Even the green-haired young man and scarred-faced Zuba, who were also level 4 new humans, felt a suspense in their heads and waves of vomiting signals in their throats. Very uncomfortable. They seemed to have encountered this situation before. They took out 2 pieces of mint-flavored chewing gum from their pockets and chewed them, which slightly relieved some of the physical discomfort. Sure enough, Brother Zhao Guang went berserk again. Fortunately, I prepared some chewing gum a few days ago, the green-haired young man said thankfully. When the tornado reached a diameter of 10 meters, it did not stop. 10 meters. 100 meters. 1,000 meters. After the tornado expanded to a range of 1,000 meters, it finally dissipated in the air. However, Lin Kong and his group happened to pass by here, and they were all caught by the purple tornado. Chapter 308. Discovering the Triangle Green Man. At a low altitude of 70 to 80 meters, Lin Kong stepped on the 7 black balls, led 4 huge wind god pterosaurs and a wind pterosaur, and flew north. In front of this team, there were more than 100 black giant sparrows acting as bodyguards. It looked very powerful. Lin Kong understood that where there are people, there are rivers and lakes. He didn't want to enter the Xiong City gathering place in order to avoid unnecessary conflicts with others. Lin Kong decided to turn around and take a detour to bypass the Xiong City gathering place. However, something unexpected happened. He took everyone and flew over the hotel. At first, Lin Kong did not have any warning of danger. Suddenly, when a purple light emerged from the hotel, the level 4 forest pterosaur first sent a dangerous signal to Lin Kong's mind. Greater than less than, quickly stay away from the purple light. Then, the 7 black balls under his feet, the Triceratops on his body, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex on his shoulders also issued a warning of danger to Lin Kong at the same time. Even the 4 wind god pterosaurs and the more than 100 giant sparrows flapped their wings with all their strength, trying to get away from the purple light. But, it was too late. The purple light was expanding rapidly. The speed of expansion far exceeded the flying speed of everyone. Lin Kong's 7 black balls were about to break out of the encirclement, but half a second later, they were directly hit by the purple light. When the purple light swept across his body, Lin Kong could see the source of the purple light clearly. It was emitted by a tornado with a very large diameter. Lin Kong was also full of questions about this super large tornado emitting purple light. Why did such a huge tornado suddenly appear? What exactly is this purple tornado? Did someone attack us? Before Lin Kong's questions were answered, the purple tornado penetrated Lin Kong's body. A feeling of dizziness instantly filled his mind. Originally, Lin Kong could still hold on for a while. However, dinosaur possession was being released. The Triceratops slowly fell off Lin Kong's body. Suddenly, Lin Kong became a weak new human with only 4 wisps of spiritual energy. Therefore, when he faced Zhao Guang's purple tornado, he fainted. His body twitched intermittently, and white saliva flowed out of his mouth quickly. Not only Lin Kong was attacked, but the other Tyrannosaurus Rex, the 7 black balls, the wind pterosaurs, Wu Fei, Li Minutes, and Zi Wang were all attacked. They were all level 3, stronger than Lin Kong, and they held on for a while before they fainted. Naturally, those level 3 giant sparrows were not spared. Hoo-la-la, just like rain, the 100 giant sparrows fell to the ground one after another. Only the 4 wind god pterosaurs and the green forest pterosaurs could barely stay awake. As a result, the reaction speed of the forest pterosaurs slowed down a lot. Lin Kong and the 7 black balls had already fallen, and the forest pterosaurs just reacted. Boom 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 boom. Lin Kong and his dinosaurs, as well as many giant sparrows, All fell heavily to the ground. It didn't matter if they fell to the ground, because there was a green healing flame hidden in Lin Kong's eyes, which could quickly recover from injuries. It didn't matter if they fell, but what mattered was that Lin Kong happened to fall at the door of the hotel. The green-haired young man and the scarred man Zuba just came to the door of the hotel. Moreover, the two of them clearly saw Lin Kong's true face. Not long ago, Zhao Wang had learned the real reason for Shen Zhu's mental disorder through the memory bubble in Shen Zhu's mind, which was the peerless beauty Zhu Linyun. However, Zhao Wang wanted to avenge not only the stunning beauty Zhu Linyun, but also Lin Kong, who froze Shen Zhu into a nice ball and said he would torture Shen Zhu all the time. Zhao Wang had deeply engraved the images of the two great enemies, the stunning beauty Zhu Linyun and the triangle green man Lin Kong, into his mind. Moreover, he also called the green-haired youth and the scarred man Zuba over. Zhao Wang touched the heads of the two with his palms and directly transmitted the character images of Zhu Linyun and the triangular green-skinned man Lin Kong to them. Hurry up and search for the traces of these two people nearby. I have to hurry to treat Xuer's brain. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. Yes, okay. After the green-haired youth and the scarred man Zuba remembered the character images in their minds, they walked quickly to the entrance of the hotel. When they were about to leave the hotel and look for Zhu Linyun and Lin Kong nearby, suddenly, they heard a whistling sound coming from the air. Looking up, they just found many giant sparrows falling down. In the past, the green-haired youth had also encountered this kind of sparrows falling from the sky. Therefore, the green-haired youth and the scarred man Zuba were not surprised by what was happening before their eyes. They hid under the eaves at the entrance of the hotel, ready to wait for all the giant sparrows to fall down, and then continue to look for Zhu Linyun and the triangular green man Lin Kong. At this time, Lin Kong just fell from the mouth at the entrance of the hotel. The green-haired youth and Lin Kong, who fell to the ground, were only 1.5 meters apart. With such a short distance, the green-haired youth naturally saw Lin Kong's true face clearly. So, he compared the image of Zhu Linyun in his mind with Lin Kong's face. Well, this person is not Zhu Linyun. Then, the green-haired youth compared the image of the triangular green man with Lin Kong's appearance. The triangular green man has 3 obvious horns, so this person is not Lin Kong. Bang! There was another loud noise. A triceratops with 3 horns on its head fell in front of the green-haired youth. The green-haired youth looked at the familiar 3 horns of the triceratops. Well, although it is somewhat familiar, the triangular green man is a human, and this triceratops is a 4-legged animal. Just when the green-haired young man was about to turn his eyes away, suddenly, whoosh! A green flame appeared in the eyes of Lin Kong on the ground. As a level 0 new human, Lin Kong's bones were almost broken after falling from a height of about 70 meters. Under normal circumstances, he would have died instantly. However, the green, immortal flame, directly revived Lin Kong with full blood, including his mental state, and he returned to normal. When Lin Kong opened his eyes, he found someone staring at him. So, he immediately activated dinosaur possession, and turned from a normal human into a triangular green-skinned man. Seeing Lin Kong with 3 horns on his head, the green-haired young man's eyes widened instantly. Chapter 309, All Fall. In the hotel bathroom, the bald strong man Zhao Guang was giving Shen Zhu psychiatric treatment. However, the dong-dong-dong sound of heavy objects falling to the ground outside disturbed him. Those giant sparrows fell from about 70 meters in the air. The height of a building is about 3 meters, so 70 meters means more than 20 floors. Those giant sparrows are very large and heavy. They fell from the sky to the ground, and a large area of houses collapsed. The ground was shaking slightly because of the sound of more than 100 giant sparrows falling to the ground. Under such a huge movement, Zhao Guang couldn't give Shen Zhu psychiatric treatment at all. He carried Shen Zhu on his back and walked to the entrance of the hotel to see what happened. As soon as Zhao Guang walked into the lobby, the green-haired young man turned around and pointed at the triangle green man at the entrance of the hotel, shouting, "Brother Zhao Guang, that guy is here." "What is that guy? Why are there so many giant sparrows falling around here?" Zhao Guang carried Shen Zhu on his back and walked towards the green-haired young man step by step. Seeing Zhao Guang's puzzled look, The green-haired young man quickly explained, "It's the bad guy who hurt Sister Shenzhou." He is it. The green-haired young man pointed at Lin Kong, who had already activated dinosaur possession, with a fierce look on his face. Lin Kong stood up from the ground. With a look of alertness on his face, he took 2 steps back and put some distance between himself and the green-haired young man. Although Lin Kong didn't know the green-haired young man's group, from what he said, it was obvious that he had determined that he was a big bad guy. Lin Kong was not a character that could be easily messed with. Since this group suddenly attacked him with a purple tornado, he had to fight back. The first step of a counterattack is always to observe the enemy's action pattern, and then it is convenient to plan the most efficient tactical plan. At present, only 3 people have been revealed: a bald man, a green-haired youth, and the remaining one is a man with a scar on his face. Looking at the scarred man Zuba, Lin Kong found that this man looked familiar, as if he had seen him somewhere. The scarred man Zuba was also shocked when he saw the triangle green man in front of him. He found that he seemed to have seen the true face of the triangle green man before he transformed. However, the scarred man Zuba couldn't remember it for a moment. Lin Kong moved his eyes away from the scarred man Zuba, and looked at the bald man who was probably the strongest among the 3. There was a trace of purple light in the eyes of the bald man, floating slowly. This purple light was very similar to the purple light of the tornado just now. Therefore, Lin Kong roughly guessed that the purple tornado just now was caused by this bald man. Analyze the changes in the bodies of the people after they were blown by the purple tornado. The body was not physically injured, but mentally. The bodies of the giant sparrows were intact after being blown by the purple tornado. Therefore, it can be concluded that the bald man's superpower should be a mental attack method. This method is difficult to defend. Fortunately, the green, live fire, in Lin Kong's right eye can not only completely restore Lin Kong's injuries, but also instantly heal Lin Kong's mental attack. In other words, the bald man looks very powerful, but in fact, his methods do not have as dangerous an impact on Lin Kong as imagined. After understanding this, Lin Kong did not relax his vigilance. Because there are 3 opponents, and the 7 black balls and the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because they were blown by the purple tornado, they temporarily fell into the bushes not far away. Their minds seem to be more confused, and they cannot launch accurate attacks for the time being. They must wait for them to recover their confused minds for a few minutes. Therefore, Lin Kong's best choice at present is to delay a little time so that his companions can sort out the abnormal conditions of their bodies. Swish! Lin Kong took out the machete from his waist and held it in front of him. He was actually very calm in his heart, but on the surface he pretended to be nervous and asked, "Who are you?" The original text is on Liu number 9 / Zhao Guang was shocked when he heard the words of the green-haired young man just now. When he saw Lin Kong's appearance as triangular green-skinned man, it was exactly the same as the picture in Shenzhou's memory bubble. It turned out to be this bastard who froze Shenzhou into a nice ball. In Zhao Guang's heart, the volcano of anger was gurgling. He gritted his teeth and suppressed his anger, because Zhao Guang understood that if he could freeze the level 4 Shenzhou into a nice ball, then, the strength of this triangular green-skinned man must not be too low. When Zhao Guang was thinking about how to test the strength of the triangle green man, he saw Lin Kong took out an ordinary machete and said to him nervously, "Who are you?" Zhao Guang looked at Lin Kong's cowardly face, and his vigilance suddenly dropped a little. Perhaps the strength of this triangle green man is not very strong. Thinking of this, Zhao Guang made a double-sided attack gesture to the green-haired young man in scarred face Zuba. The green-haired young man in scarred face Zuba understood what Zhao Guang meant, so they surrounded Lin Kong from the left and right. Lin Kong looked at the green-haired young man on the left, then looked at scarred face Zuba on the right, and then looked at the bald strong man in front of him. He let his hand holding the machete pretend to tremble. Lin Kong's tone was even more stuttering than before. I warn you, I still have teammates. You don't mess around." As he spoke, Lin Kong also gestured to the left and right with a machete. The green-haired young man looked at Lin Kong's frightened appearance and laughed. "Damn, this guy looks scary on the outside, but unexpectedly, he is a wimp." The scarred Zuba standing on Lin Kong's right did not laugh at Lin Kong, but had a puzzled expression on his face, because he was recalling when he had seen the true face of this triangle green man. Zhao Guang looked at Lin Kong's cowardly appearance, and his vigilance in his heart was even lower. It's really hard to find it, but it's easy to get it, to be precise. Before Zhao Guang started to look for it, this triangle green man automatically came to the door. Although Zhao Guang wanted to kill Lin Kong directly at this moment, he held back. Zhao Guang coldly ordered the green-haired young man in scarred Zuba, "You two keep an eye on him, wait until I cure Zu first, and then I will deal with this coward." Chapter 310 Meeting an Acquaintance Zuba. So, Zhao Guang treated the unconscious Shen Zhu at the entrance of the hotel. The remaining green-haired youth and scarred Zuba stared at Lin Kong with a fierce look. Lin Kong continued to pretend to be panicked. You are Shen Zhu's friends, right? Actually, I didn't hurt Shen Zhu," Lin Kong explained to the three green-haired youths while secretly using his mind to command the forest pterosaur. Fortunately, the forest pterosaur was a level 4 mutant beast. After a brief period of confusion, it was able to continue to fly normally. Although the level 3 wind pterosaur also fell because of the attack of the purple tornado, the remaining 4 wind god pterosaurs were not seriously injured. They quickly regained their composure under the comfort of the forest pterosaurs. "Green Bin, you fly down quietly first, and the other 4 wind god pterosaurs, wait in the air." Lin Kong directly sent a voice message to the forest pterosaur in the air. Green Bin is the nickname of the forest pterosaur. Lin Kong was bad at naming. He didn't know what formal name to give the forest pterosaur, so he just called her Green Bean. It just so happened that Green Bin was very small, and the forest pterosaur was only 5 centimeters tall, making it the smallest among dinosaurs. After receiving Lin Kong's order, the forest pterosaur immediately replied, "Okay, little cousin." Then, she flapped her wings, made a big turn, and landed in the bushes. Then, under the cover of the bushes, she came to the vicinity of the hotel. The green-haired young man in scarred Zuba didn't notice the small forest pterosaur. Lin Kong sensed that the forest pterosaur was 3 meters behind him, and he finally breathed a sigh of relief. The forest pterosaur had already prepared its attack posture and could launch a fatal charge at any time. However, Lin Kong did not let the forest pterosaur attack immediately, because the situation on the scene was not yet completely clear. Lin Kong didn't know the specific strength of Zhao Guang, the green-haired young man, and scarred Zuba. He could only roughly infer their strength through their aura, which was probably at the level of level 4. If there were really only 3 new humans at level 4, then Lin Kong, who had the help of the forest pterosaur, was not very afraid of them. What Lin Kong was worried about was whether there would be a terrifying existence at level 5 among them. Anyway, there was the fire of life in his right eye that could revive him on the spot, so Lin Kong could risk his life to get close to them. If there was a level 5 among Zhao Guang and the other 2, Lin Kong would probably just run away. As time went by, the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the 7 black balls that fell not far away also gradually regained their consciousness. The 7 black balls were too big, and once they moved, they would inevitably be noticed by the 3 green-haired young men. Therefore, Lin Kong just let the 7 black balls rotate the spheres at an extremely slow speed so that the emission port of the cold air would be aimed at the hotel entrance. As for the remaining Tyrannosaurus Rex, they were ordered by Lin Kong to quietly enter the hotel from the back door and hide under the table in the hotel lobby. The Tyrannosaurus Rex had light footsteps and was naturally good at surprise attacks. It came to the hotel lobby silently, and had already sharpened its teeth. In this way, Zhao Guang and the other 2 were surrounded. In front of them were Lin Kong and the forest pterosaur. On the side were the 7 black balls ready to spray cold air, and behind them was the Tyrannosaurus Rex with sharp teeth. In the sky, there were 4 level 4 wind god pterosaurs, ready to attack at any time. On the surface, Lin Kong had been surrounded by the green-haired youth and the scarred Zuba, but the actual situation was that the 3 of them had been surrounded by Lin Kong's dinosaurs. They thought Lin Kong was a lamb to be slaughtered, but in fact they were the fish on the chopping board. So, when the green-haired youth heard Lin Kong say that he did not hurt Shen Zhu, the green-haired young man thought he had an absolute advantage. and a grim smile appeared on his face. "Don't quibble, confess and be lenient, resist and be strict. Do you understand? If you honestly kneel down and die, we will leave you with an intact body." While speaking, the green-haired young man took off a submachine gun from his back. While playing with the submachine gun in his hand, he stared at Lin Kong's every move with ill intentions. As long as Lin Kong dared to move, the green-haired young man would shoot without hesitation. Lin Kong looked at the gun, pretending to show a panic in his eyes. The original text is available at LU number 9 at book/bar. In fact, he focused his attention on the hand of the scarred man on the other side. The scarred man Zuba was holding a slender samurai sword in his hand. The samurai sword had been unsheathed, and the snow-white blade flashed a breathtaking cold light in the warm afternoon sun. In Lin Kong's opinion, the lethality of the katana in the hand of the scarred man is much greater than the threat of the submachine gun in the hand of the green-haired youth. Lin Kong's whole body has been surrounded by the liquid dragon armor, and he is not too afraid of conventional thermal weapons. However, Lin Kong is still a little concerned about the katana in the hand of the scarred man, because after the katana is wrapped in spiritual energy, it will greatly increase the attack power and hardness. If an ordinary katana is chopped on Lin Kong's body, it may directly break the whole. However, once the spiritual energy of the scarred man is attached to the katana, Lin Kong is likely to be chopped by a knife. In short, Lin Kong has to focus more on the scarred man and the bald strong man who attacks mentally. The scarred-faced Zuba, who was holding the katana on the side, suddenly said "Oh," and said excitedly, "I seem to know who you are. Take off the green skin on your face." As he said, the scarred man Zuba pointed at Lin Kong's face with the katana, indicating that the latter should show his true face. With the protection of the dark green liquid dragon armor, Lin Kong could avoid being shot in the head by the submachine gun of the green-haired young man. However, the scarred man Zuba asked Lin Kong to remove the protection on his face and show his real face. How could Lin Kong satisfy him? "No, I have to protect my head." Lin Kong rejected the request of Scarred Zuba. Scarred Zuba knew that Lin Kong was afraid that the green-haired young man would shoot him. So, Scarred Zuba asked tentatively, "Have you been to the gathering place in the county? When you went there, was there a level 2 fat master following behind you? There was also a wild boar in the suit next to you, right?" Hearing a series of questions from Scarred Zuba, Lin Kong's expression became more and more surprised. He finally remembered the identity of Scarred Zuba. Are you the leader of the guards who was guarding the gate at the gathering place?" If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 311 The Secret of Zuba's Upgrade. A few days ago, the scarred man Zuba was still a level 1 new human guarding the gates in the county town. But now, the scarred man Zuba has transformed into a level 4 strong man. Lin Kong was also quite surprised when he saw the changes in Zuba. He thought to himself, "I have a nest of dinosaur eggs, and I upgraded them all the way, so that all the dinosaurs can reach the level of level 3, and this level 1 new human who was still guarding the gate a few days ago, can become a level 4 new human in just a few days. Incredible. This is really an incredible thing." Lin Kong couldn't help but ask, "How did you do it? How can you upgrade so quickly?" Of course, although the scarred Zuba is an acquaintance who has met once before, Lin Kong did not let down his guard. All his dinosaurs are still in a combat state ready to attack at any time. Even when Lin Kong was asking questions with a surprised look on his face, he did not forget to be on guard against the remaining green-haired youth and the most powerful bald strong man Zhao Guang. Lin Kong and Scarred Zuba had only met once, so Lin Kong didn't think Zuba would let him go. Moreover, Lin Kong had never helped Zuba, and Zuba only opened the door for Lin Kong once. Therefore, facing Lin Kong's question, Zuba's face turned cold decisively. "I can't tell you this kind of thing. Even if you are my brother, I won't tell you. Besides, You and I are not very familiar with each other. If we are familiar with each other, Zhu Ba and Lin Kong's good brother Wu Feng are very familiar with each other. Every time Wu Feng left the gathering place to search for supplies, he would bring a lot of good things to Zhu Ba. Sometimes it was cigarettes, sometimes it was a bottle of erguo too, and sometimes he would give him a few pornographic magazines. Lin Kong was not surprised to hear Zhu Ba's refusal. Such a rapid upgrade speed must have a big secret. How could an ordinary person share such a big secret with others for free? When Lin Kong was about to ask another question, suddenly, tap, 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 a noisy sound of footsteps sounded. Lin Kong turned his head and looked. He saw several figures walking out from the corner of the street not far away. They were Li Minutes, Wu Feng, Zi Wang, 9 level 2 new humans, and a level 3, Zhuge corpse, in a suit without arms. After Zi Wang's confused mind returned to normal, he used his perspective eyes to quickly find the others. After reuniting with the others, Zi Wang found that Lin Kong was surrounded by the green-haired youth and the scarred man Zhu Ba. Wu Feng learned about this and offered to come to support Lin Kong. Zi Wang was a smart man. He had already seen Lin Kong's dinosaurs. In fact, they had surrounded the 3 green-haired youths from all angles in the sky and underground. Therefore, Zi Wang would not panic at all. He naturally agreed to Wu Feng's request. So, everyone came to Lin Kong together, ready to fight side by side with Lin Kong. Seeing more than a dozen people suddenly appearing at the corner of the street, the green-haired young man felt a sense of crisis. He turned around and reminded the bald strong man, "Brother Zhuang, a lot of people have come." Seeing the green-haired young man's action, Lin Kong instantly concluded the green-haired young man's personality characteristics, not calm enough, easily confused by appearances. The green-haired young man panicked when he saw the large number of people in Zi Wang's group. He had no idea about the approximate strength of Zi Wang's group. And the bald strong man Zhuang, after being reminded by the green-haired young man, buzzed. A wave of spiritual energy instantly emanated from Zhuang's eyes. This wave was directed at Zi Wang and his group. After Zi Wang's body came into contact with this wave, he immediately felt dizzy, but he was a level 3 new human, and the dizziness recovered in less than a second. However, the faces of the other 9 level 2 new humans turned pale instantly. They covered their foreheads and whispered sadly, "My head is so dizzy." The original text is available at 6:9 "I seem to be sleeping. Hey why is the picture in my eyes spinning?" These 9 level 2 new humans all showed various mental problems. Zhuang looked at the performance of Zi Wang and his group and instantly understood their strength. It's just a mob of new humans who are less than level 4. Don't panic, I still have a few seconds to restore Shenzhu's mind to normal. The green-haired young man was a little nervous at first, but after hearing Zhuang's conclusion, he continued to be fearless. The green-haired young man held a submachine gun and pointed it at Lin Kong's head. "What, are those people your companions? Hurry up and tell them not to come over." Lin Kong still pretended to be a coward, and he nodded quickly. "Turn around." Lin Kong waved his hands at Zi Wang and Wu Feng and shouted, "Don't come over here, I can handle it alone." While shouting loudly, Lin Kong also made a very obscure special gesture. When Wu Feng saw the special gesture made by Lin Kong secretly, he understood it. Lindeben's Hang had a good plan and didn't need our help. After knowing this, Wu Feng immediately stopped everyone. "Let's not go over there, just wait here. Everyone, take out the spiritual energy from your danshan and be ready to fight at any time." In addition to Li Minutes, Wu Feng was most concerned about Lindeben's Hang. Zi Wang was relieved when he saw that Wu Feng's face did not show any tension. Everyone controlled the spiritual energy and circulated it around their bodies. Once there was any emergency, they could use their superpowers at the first time. The green-haired young man looked at the well-behaved performance of Zi Wang and his group, and felt very satisfied. These new humans who were not at level 4 were just garbage. Seeing Wu Feng's performance, Lin Kong knew that Wu Feng understood his gestures. To be honest, Lin Kong really didn't want Wu Feng to intervene to help, because Lin Kong hadn't fully understood the strength of the 3 green-haired young men. Once Wu Feng rashly joined the battle, they might suffer unnecessary harm. Zhao Guang found that Lin Kong and his group were quite honest, so he turned around to help Shenzhou heal the confusion in her brain. Lin Kong didn't interrupt Zhao Guang's treatment, because Lin Kong himself hadn't really hurt Shenzhou. According to Shenzhou's friendly and helpful personality, Lin Kong felt that after Shenzhou recovered, she would most likely help him resolve the misunderstanding. Of course, if it couldn't be resolved, Lin Kong could only try to kill them. Chapter 312 Shocked, Team Leader Ma's dead. At the entrance of the hotel, the green-haired youth and scarred Zuba were using their respective weapons to surround Lin Kong from the left and right. Lin Kong also secretly sent out all the dinosaurs to counter-encircle the green-haired youth and the other two from all angles in the sky and on the ground. They were all waiting for the bald strong man Zhao Guang to cure Shenzhou. Zhao Guang wanted to restore Shenzhou's collapsed mind to normal before dealing with Lin Kong. Lin Kong hoped that Shenzhou would return to normal as soon as possible to resolve the misunderstanding between him and Zhao Guang. It was the first time for Lin Kong to face a new human with mental attack, and the other side had 3 level 4 new humans. For the cautious Lin Kong, it is better not to have a conflict if it can be avoided, otherwise, killing Shenzhou and her group is likely to attract more people. After all, the superpowers of the new humans now are strange and have everything. Once Shenzhou's other companions know that Lin Kong killed Shenzhou and Zhao Guang, it is likely to attract more and stronger new humans. Lin Kong also has to rush to the laboratory to save his mother Liu Hong. He couldn't let these insignificant people hold him back. 29 days. The level 6 president will start the ceremony of promotion to level 7 in 29 days. That time will be the most dangerous moment for his mother Liu Hong. Lin Kong must rush to the laboratory and defeat the level 6 president before the 29th. When Lin Kong was worried, Wu Fei at the corner of the street suddenly exclaimed, "Hey, isn't this old Zhu?" Hearing this familiar voice, scarred Zuba turned his head and looked at Wu Fei carefully. His eyes lit up and his face was happy. "Hey, it's you, Wu Fei." After Zuba saw the latter's face clearly, he found that it was his old acquaintance Wu Fei, and he was very happy. After all, in this dangerous apocalypse, the probability of meeting again after separation is really low. Now, the two old acquaintances have met again under this special situation. Wu Fei looked at the familiar scar on Zuba's face from a distance and asked, "Hey, old Zhu, how did you survive? Why did you come here again? Also, how come you are so strong? Judging from your aura, it seems that you are stronger than mine. Have you reached level 4? Wu Fei asked a lot of questions in a row because he was too excited. He wanted to walk over and have a good chat with Zuba, but Li Minutes on the side grabbed Wu Fei's arm. Wu Fei immediately understood what Li Minutes meant. He knew that Lin Kong was temporarily in a hostile state with Zuba's group. Therefore, Wu Fei should not disrupt Lin Kong's plan. So, Wu Fei could only chat with Zuba from a distance. Zuba also understood Wu Fei's identity. He neither put down the samurai sword in his hand nor had any intention of getting close to Wu Fei. Like Wu Fei, he answered Wu Fei's question from a distance. "Didn't our gathering place have a zombie wave that day? Then, I took a group of gatekeepers and ran away. They couldn't run as fast as me, and were all eaten by zombies. The zombies were busy eating them, so I took the opportunity to slip away. I saw that the gathering place was flooded with mutant zombies, and I thought you were all dead. I didn't expect that you, Wu Fei, were still alive." Zuba only explained the first question raised by Wu Fei. He looked at the other people beside Wu Fei, and found a few familiar faces among the 9 level 2 new humans. Of course, Zuba also recognized Zi Wang, the cultivation expert of the gathering place. However, Zuba and Zi Wang were not very familiar with each other. At the beginning, Zi Wang's status in the gathering place was above 1,000 people and below 1 person, and Zuba was just a level 1 new human guarding the gate. Compared with Zi Wang, he was like a toad lying on the ground and a god living in the sky. However, a few short days passed. Zuba has completely surpassed Zi Wang. He leaped up and became a strong man of level 4. And Zi Wang. Zuba observed Zi Wang's aura and found that the latter's strength was most likely at the level of level 3. Of course, compared with ordinary people, Z Wang's speed of upgrading from level 2 to level 3 is still very fast. The original text is available at Liu number 9 /. However, compared with Zhu Ba who upgraded from level 1 to level 4, Z Wang's upgrade speed is purely a slow turtle. Zhu Ba took his eyes away from Z Wang. He chatted with Wu Feigang remotely again. However, during the chat with Wu Feigang, Zhu Ba never revealed the secret of his rapid upgrade. After all, there were so many people around, and Zhu Ba couldn't tell Wu Feigang the precious upgrade secret directly. When Zhu Ba and Wu Feigang, who were in two different forces, were chatting heatedly in front of everyone, the green-haired young man on the side had a weird expression on his face, and his mouth twitched. "Is this possible?" ! Don't you know that you are not in the same camp? Brother Zhu Ba, aren't you afraid that Brother Zhao Guang will be angry with you? When Lin Kong and his group were at loggerheads with Zhao Guang, Zhu Ba and Wu Feigang's chat was just like a child playing house, just playing around. However, Zhao Guang, who was treating Shen Zhu, did not say anything to stop Zhu Ba's weird behavior. Anyway, only Lin Kong bullied his savior Shen Zhu. At most, after killing Lin Kong and his group, Zhu Ba's friend would be spared. When Lin Kong, Zhao Guang and others had different thoughts, in a bank 1 kilometer away, the pink-coated gunman and his two lovers were using the water mirror of Water of the Future to watch the show and comment on it. Pink-clad cannon man, why are there always blind people who come to Lin Kong to die one after another? Flirting woman, hey Tilda, 3 more people are coming to get killed, ha ha ha. These 3 idiots, they are surrounded by Lin Kong's dinosaurs, but they don't know it yet. Plump woman, I estimate that 2 of these 3 people will die. The man with the scar on his face seems to be more familiar with Lin Kong's people. The 3 chatted back and forth. The pink-clad cannon man rolled out a round ball of water. He was going to predict the time of death of the bald man. However, a result that shocked him appeared in the prediction of Water of the Future. The bald man's name is Zhao Guang, and he is actually Team Leader Ma's father. Chapter 313, The Dilemma of the Pink-Coated Cannon Man. What? That bald man is actually the father of Team Leader Ma? My dear, is that what you just said? Did I hear it wrong? The coquettish woman's face changed when she heard the prediction of the pink-clothed man. Originally, she was planning to watch the show, waiting for the 3 bald men to be solved by Lin Kong one by one. However, when the coquettish woman learned the true identity of the bald man Zhao Guang, she couldn't help but get nervous. The pink-clothed man's face was also very ugly, and he nodded weakly. I predicted it 3 times, and the results were the same. That bald man is the father of Team Leader Ma. If the bald man was just an insignificant passerby, then Lin Kong would kill him, and the pink-clothed man trio could still have fun. However, the bald man turned out to be the father of Team Leader Ma, and now the nature of the matter has changed. The plump woman was the calmest among the 3. She thought for a while and asked, "Honey, is this bald man in danger?" The pink-clad man raised the water ball in his hand and said, "You can see for yourself." The plump woman and the coquettish woman came closer at the same time and saw 4 red characters on the water ball in the palm of the pink-clad man's hand, a life or death. The pink-clad man explained to the plump woman and the coquettish woman with a serious face, "If we stand by and do not take the initiative to help the bald man, then he will be a life or death, and it will be difficult for him to escape from Lin Kong's hands." But, the pink-clad man hesitated for 2 or 3 times to say the second half of the sentence, but he still couldn't say it. The coquettish woman was immediately anxious. "Honey Tilda, but what? Don't keep us in suspense." The plump woman saw that the pink-clad man's expression was very ugly, and knew that the second half of the sentence was definitely not good news, so she didn't ask like the plump woman. After hesitating again and again, the pink-clothed cannon man looked at the coquettish woman, then looked at the plump woman, and finally gritted his teeth and said, "But, if we help, Future Water predicts that the bald strong man can escape from Lin Kong's hands. But if we help the bald strong man, Future Water predicts that one of the 3 of us will die." The plump woman heard the pink-clothed cannon man's words and swallowed hard. "Husband, your Future Water will not predict accurately against high-level opponents, and the strength of that bald strong man is obviously a level 4 new human. one level higher than all of us. So, the so-called 9 deaths and 1 life, could it be a mistake in the prediction of future water? The coquettish woman also felt that future water might have made a mistake, and she echoed, "Husband Tilda, don't worry, the bald strong man can attack mentally, and he has 2 level 4 companions. It is impossible for him to die so easily in Lin Kong's hands." The pink-clothed cannon man's expression did not improve in response to the comforts of his 2 lovers. He looked at Lin Kong in the picture, sighed and said, "This Lin Kong is a threat to the life of the president." The bald man and his companions are only level 4. How can they be the opponent of Lin Kong? The old bastard, the plump woman and the coquettish woman were silent. They all knew Lin Kong's methods. Previously, Zhou Linian not only had a peerless beauty that had a fatal attraction to men. Moreover, Zhou Linian had 4 wind god pterosaurs under his command. Despite this, Zhou Linian was directly destroyed by Lin Kong with 1 punch. Analyze the current situation again. In terms of strength, Lin Kong's dinosaurs have secretly surrounded the bald man and his 3 companions from all angles in the sky and on the ground. In terms of psychology, Lin Kong seemed to be panicking on the surface, but in fact, he was as steady as an old dog. As for the bald man, he underestimated Lin Kong's strength. Moreover, the bald man's 2 teammates were not reliable. A green-haired young man was holding a submachine gun as a weapon. This submachine gun could not cause any harm to Lin Kong at all. Although the scarred Zuba was holding a very sharp samurai sword, he was always talking to Lin Kong's good brother Wu Fei. The original text is available at Liu number 9 at book/bar. So if a real war breaks out, it is estimated that the scarred face will not kill him at all. In summary, whether in terms of combat strength or the psychological level of both sides, Lin Kong's side has an absolute advantage. Once the fight starts, the pink-clothed cannon man estimates that the fate of the bald man will be the same as that of the stunning beauty Zhou Linian, and will be killed by the dinosaur raising Lin Kong in seconds. Thinking of this, the pink-clothed cannon man felt very entangled. If he sat back and did nothing, the bald man would definitely be in danger of death. But if he helped, according to the prediction of future water, one of him and his 2 lovers would definitely die. So, a difficult and huge choice was placed in front of the pink-clothed cannon man. Should we sacrifice one of our lives to save the bald man? Or should we just stand by and let him die? Of course, under normal circumstances, the pink-coated cannon man would choose to let him die. However, Team Leader Ma will arrive tomorrow. Team Leader Ma knows about the superpowers of the pink-coated cannon man, and he also knows that the pink-coated cannon man is always paying attention to Lin Kong's every move. Therefore, if Lin Kong kills Team Leader Ma's father, the bald man, then the pink-coated cannon man must have observed it through the water mirror. Once Team Leader Ma knows that he did not save his father, then Team Leader Ma will definitely be furious, maybe in a rage. He will kill the 3 pink-coated cannon men to vent his anger. The pink-coated cannon man scratched his hair with both hands, and he squatted on the ground in distress. If we save that bald strong man, one of us 3 will die. If we don't save that dead bald man, the 3 of us may all be killed by the horse team leader. Oh, this is really fucked up. The pink-coated cannon man trio are just level 3 new humans. And through the previous video call, the pink-coated cannon man knew that the president already had the means to mass-produce level 4 new humans. Therefore, the value of the pink-coated cannon man trio is not very high. Moreover, although the pink-coated cannon man's future water can predict the future, the accuracy rate of predicting high-level new humans is not high. Therefore, even if the horse team leader killed the pink-coated cannon man trio in anger, it is estimated that it would not cost much. Chapter 314, Solutions to the Dilemma. Quick, think of a solution. According to the prediction of water of the future, it will take about 3 or 4 minutes for that bald Sabi to cure Shenzhou. Once cured, that bald Sabi will start a war with Lin Kong. In the lobby of the bank, the pink-clad cannon man paced back and forth and began to think hard. The coquettish woman and the plump woman also held their chins with both hands and frowned as they thought. This is a matter of life and death. The 3 pink-clad cannon men must come up with a corresponding countermeasure. So, should they sacrifice themselves to save the bald Sabi, or sit back and wait for the wrath of the Mazda team leader to fall. The three pink-clad cannon men thought about it, and the coquettish woman was the first to speak. Husband tilde, if you have to sacrifice one person, then, or sacrifice me. At this critical moment, the coquettish woman, who is usually good at acting coquettishly and cute, actually showed a spirit of dedication and courage to sacrifice. The pink-clad gunman looked at the pretty face of the coquettish woman and was very moved. Don't worry, I won't let you sacrifice yourself. If you must die, then let me die. Although the pink-clad gunman has two lovers he likes, and although his feelings are not very exclusive, his feelings for the two lovers are real. Even if he has to sacrifice his life for the two lovers, the pink-clad gunman is willing to do so. It is precisely because of the pink-clad gunman's sincere and passionate love that the coquettish woman and the plump woman are willing to share one man. Hearing that the pink-dressed man was going to die for her, the coquettish woman immediately had tears in her eyes and shook her head and said, "No, husband, it doesn't matter if I die, you still have Xiamen to accompany you. But if you die, Xiamen and I will both become widows. So, if you have to die, it's better for me to die." The pink-dressed man rushed over, hugged the coquettish woman, and said lovingly, "As a serious man, how can I let a woman like you go to die?" However, before the pink-dressed man finished his words, the plump woman clapped her hands, her eyes lit up and said, "Don't cry, I have a way." The coquettish woman wiped away the tears from her eyes and asked expectantly, "Xiamen, tell me quickly, what way do you have?" The pink-dressed man also cast his expectant eyes on the plump woman. Among the three, if we talk about IQ, the coquettish woman has the simplest brain, the pink-coated cannon man has the intelligence of an ordinary person, and the plump woman is obviously the huge lion among the three. Therefore, when the pink-coated cannon man and the coquettish woman heard the solution from the plump woman, they were immediately delighted. It seemed that they saw the light of hope in the haze of despair. The plump woman stretched out a finger and explained slowly, "One thing we must make clear is that we must never exchange one life for another. That would be too uneconomical. Even if the president dies, the three of us must live well." Hearing the plump woman's point of view, the pink-coated cannon man and the coquettish woman nodded at the same time. They are indeed the subordinates of the president. However, when it comes to loyalty, the pink-coated cannon man trio values the lives of the three people more. Once the president wants to kill one of the pink-coated cannon man trio, the remaining two will decisively stand on the opposite side of the president, become the president's enemy, and fight with the president until death. The pink-clad man frowned and asked, "Xiamen, so what you mean is that we shouldn't save that bald Sabi?" The plump woman nodded. That bald Sabi insisted on provoking Lin Kong, who raised a dinosaur. He deserved to die. We must be stupid to sacrifice a person to save that bald Sabi. These two sentences from the plump woman directly expressed the thoughts of the pink-clad man and the coquettish woman. They all echoed, "Yeah, he could mess with anyone, but he had to mess with the guy who raised dinosaurs." Even a peerless beauty like Zhu Linian fell into the hands of that guy who raised dinosaurs. What's more, this bald Sabi brought a shame-at green-haired young man with him. With such weak combat power, they dare to show off in this doomsday. They will die sooner or later. Read the original text in Liu number 9/. Even if we save this bald Sabi, he will probably still die in a few days. The pink-clad man and the coquettish woman discussed the suicidal behavior of the bald strong man and the green-haired young man with resentment on their faces. At the same time, they also had a question: if we don't save that bald Sabi, then when team leader Horse comes tomorrow, how should we face his anger? The plump woman's mouth curled up slightly with pride. If team leader Horse is not angry, then we don't need to face it. When the pink-clothed man heard the plump woman's inexplicable words, his expression gradually relaxed. "Oh, so this is your method. Haha, great, great, you are really smart." As he spoke, the pink-clothed man held the plump woman's face with both hands and kissed her hard. The brain of the coquettish woman was a little slow to react. She looked at the pink-dressed man and the plump woman and asked in confusion, "So, how can we make the Horse team leader's anger disappear? What on earth did you come up with? Can you please stop keeping us in suspense? I am not well educated, so just tell me directly and clearly. Seeing the coquettish woman's impatience, the pink-dressed man didn't keep us in suspense. He said to the plump woman, "Zeman, this is your idea, so you should tell ZOGL." "Okay." The plump woman turned around and explained to the coquettish woman, "My method is not to eliminate the horse team leader's anger, but to prevent the horse team leader from getting angry." "So, how can we prevent him from getting angry?" The answer is very simple. We just need to prevent him from discovering the death of that bald Sabi. Even if the coquettish woman was really confused, she quickly understood what the plump woman said. His eyes shone brightly as he guessed. "Zhao, what you mean is, not only should we not help that bald Sabi who is seeking his own death, but we should also help destroy the body after he dies so as to conceal the truth of his death." The plump woman smiled and nodded. "That's right, as long as team leader Ma doesn't know that his father is dead, he won't be angry with us." Chapter 315. General Lin Kong is even more awesome than the president. Not only did they not help, the three pink-coated cannon men also decided to help Lin Kong destroy the corpse. This was definitely a very bold and risky strategy. However, for the safety of himself and his two lovers, the pink-coated cannon man decisively adopted this strategy. In order to prevent accidents, the pink-coated cannon man also deliberately activated the ability of future water, and predicted the consequences of doing so several times. Every time, future water happily came up with 4 big words: "Good luck." The coquettish woman looked at the prediction results of future water, and touched her head. "Why does this future water seem to like us helping the guy who raises dinosaurs so much?" The pink-coated cannon man rubbed the water ball in his hand to confirm that the function of future water did not show any signs of damage. Then, through the performance of future water, the pink-clothed cannon man can draw a conclusion. In my future water prediction, the man who raises dinosaurs will even surpass the great president in the future. Therefore, future water is very happy for us to do something to help Lin Kong, and once we become an enemy of Lin Kong, my future water will constantly dissuade me and tell me to run away quickly. The coquettish woman heard the pink-clothed cannon man's words and showed an incredible expression. "Husband tilde, are you saying that the man who raises dinosaurs will be more powerful than the president in the future?" This is simply incredible. I think the president is probably the strongest man in the world, but I didn't expect that the man who raises dinosaurs will surpass the terrifying president sooner or later. The plump woman was not very surprised by this result, because a long time ago, future water showed extreme fear of Lin Kong. This great fear was not so obvious even when future water faced the president. Therefore, when future water was afraid of Lin Kong for the first time, the plump woman felt that Lin Kong would become extremely powerful in the future. It was only because everyone was still under the command of the president that the plump woman did not speak out her thoughts. Now, when the plump woman found that she had to face a choice, her thoughts naturally turned to Lin Kong. If team leader Ma would kill 3 of her own people in anger, then, in order to survive, the worst that could happen was that she would betray the president and stand on the side of Lin Kong who raised dinosaurs. This was the plump woman's initial idea. However, she soon denied her initial idea, because, if the 3 of them betrayed at this moment, it is very likely that the president would send a large number of assassins to eliminate the betrayers. The president hated betrayal wars the most. Even more, the president would focus all the attention on Lin Kong on the 3 pink-coated cannon men. In that case, the 3 pink-coated cannon men would be in a situation where they would definitely die. Therefore, after the plump woman rejected the initial idea of betraying the president, she immediately came up with a relatively safer way, that is to destroy the body of Sabi Baldhead to prevent team leader Ma from finding out. If it were in a peaceful era, destroying the body would be very difficult. However, in the doomsday world where zombies are everywhere, destroying the body is really a very simple matter. Just throw the body to the hungry mutant zombies, or give it to mutant beasts to eat. It's easy to get rid of Sabi Baldhead's body. Now that everything is planned, the 3 pink-coated gunmen are secretly relieved, so they continue to stare at the translucent water mirror formed by water of the future. and observe Lin Kong's subsequent actions. At this moment, at the entrance of the hotel, Zhao Guang's eyes slowly opened. He wiped the sweat from his forehead, then stood up. Mixor, it's finally healed. Shenzhou, whose pupils had lost focus, finally returned to normal at this moment. She closed her eyes with a tired look on her face, and then her body softened and fell onto Zhao Guang's arms. Zhao Guang supported Shenzhou. He called to Scarface Zuba, Zuba, come here and take good care of Mixor. Scarface Zuba put away his samurai sword and walked over to catch Shenzhou. Zhao Guang turned around, looked at the nervous Lin Kong, and clenched his fists a few times. There was a crackling sound of bones between his fists. The original text is available at Liu number 9 / Zhao Guang walked to a distance of 1 meter from Lin Kong and stood. I ask you questions and you answer them. Whatever I ask you, you'd better answer honestly. If you dare to hide anything, I will kill you immediately. Okay, okay, I will never hide anything. Lin Kong hurriedly nodded and bowed. Zhao Guang's position at the moment was very clever. He only needed to lean forward to launch a sudden attack immediately. The triangular green-skinned man in front of him was already within his attack range. However, this triangle green man had no awareness of being stared at by a tiger. Zhao Guang was disdainful in his heart. What he disdainful was that this triangle green man was obviously a useless trash, and a scum with a combat power of 5. However, it was precisely this useless character like a bug who froze his beloved savior Xor into an ice ball. With such a deep hatred, Zhao Guang secretly decided in his heart that he must tear Lin Kong into pieces. Look up! The bald strong man Zhao Guang, with his sharp eyes, scanned Zi Wang and others at the corner of the street. Since these people are the partners of the triangle green man, then they have to die with this triangle green man. However, the one called Wu Feigang is very familiar with the scarred Zuba. Well, Zhao Guang is considering winning Zuba's loyalty, and he thinks he can let Wu Feigang go. However, Zhao Guang's threats to Lin Kong just now made the 3 pink-clad men laugh at him. This bald Sabi, he has obviously been surrounded by Lin Kong, but he is still talking nonsense there. What a fucking Sabi. If this bald Sabi is not the father of team leader Ma, I wish I could deal with this bald Sabi myself. After Zhao Guang finished threatening, he continued to ask, boy, let me ask you, did you freeze Mixor into an ice ball? Lin Kong was stunned when he heard this question. He estimated that the bald strong man in front of him should have known what he had done to Shenzhou through some kind of mental detection method, so he asked this question so specifically. Therefore, Lin Kong did not lie on this issue. Yes, yes. But, I was forced by others. Chapter 316 The sixth kill with one punch. The next battle. Lin Kong decided to adopt a tactical plan of testing while looking for opportunities to kill instantly. Then, the first step was to pretend that he was eager to explain the misunderstanding. I was forced. It was a very beautiful woman, her name is Zhu Linyun, who forced me. While Lin Kong explained, he secretly stared at the bald man's body. However, before Lin Kong finished explaining, the bald man Zhao Guang interrupted him rudely. I don't care whether you were forced or not. Anyway, you froze Mixor, right? That I was forced. I didn't want to. Lin Kong tried to explain a lot again, but the bald man Zhao Guang didn't give Lin Kong a chance to explain. I just want to ask you, did you freeze Mixor? If you dare to say other nonsense again, I will kill you immediately. Gurgle tilde. Lin Kong pretended to be very scared and swallowed 2 mouthfuls of saliva. Then, after more than 10 seconds, Lin Kong admitted with difficulty, yes, I froze the respected Ms. Shenzhou. You have to admit what you did. You are still a man. Zhao Guang touched his bald head and smiled at first, but then, the smile on his face gradually twisted. He said viciously, I don't care whether you were forced or not. Anyway, I have to kill anyone who hurt Xor. So, die. Shouting, the bald man quickly stepped forward. He stretched out his hand and wanted to grab the neck of the triangle green man in front of him. He thought that the sudden attack he launched would be easy to succeed, but unexpectedly, it was empty. Zhao Guang's right hand grabbed nothing. When Zhao Guang took a step forward, Lin Kong had already quickly retreated 2 or 3 steps and was out of Zhao Guang's attack range. So, Zhao Guang's right hand caught nothing except air. "Hey, you run pretty fast." Zhao Guang seemed a little surprised. Then, he quickly rushed towards Lin Kong again. This time, Zhao Guang clenched his fist, ready to punch the slippery triangle green man to death. The skin of this fist was covered with a layer of black special gas. Lin Kong had previous combat experience with Zhu Linyun, so he naturally understood the true identity of this black special gas, fixed point suppression force. This fixed point suppression force can greatly increase the attack power of the fist. Moreover, Lin Kong's Triceratops is only a level 3 mutant beast, a whole level lower than Zhao Guang, who is level 4. Therefore, even if Lin Kong has the protection of liquid dragon armor, he can't defend against this heavy punch covered with fixed point suppression force. He must dodge it. Zhao Guang is worthy of being a level 4 new human, and his speed of movement is much faster than Lin Kong. Lin Kong only had time to retreat 3 or 4 steps before he was caught up by Zhao Guang, Zhao Guang raised his fist and smashed it hard on Lin Kong's head. Zhao Guang's attack posture was extremely standard. The position of his feet was very stable. The attack of his fist was also very accurate. However, looking at Lin Kong, his defensive posture with both hands was very amateurish. The position of his feet was also very unbalanced. Once hit, even if Lin Kong defended, he would be directly knocked away. Of course, according to the attack power of Zhao Guang's punch, Lin Kong would lose half his life if he was hit. So, will Lin Kong be hit? Theoretically speaking, Lin Kong will definitely be hit. Lin Kong is just an ordinary college student. He has never learned fighting. His close combat ability has always been very weak. Therefore, Lin Kong could not dodge Zhao Guang's experienced punch. Since Lin Kong could not dodge this punch, then, what should he do? Previously, the reason why Lin Kong was able to defeat Jin Baoang with a big knife, the reason why he was able to defeat Lang Qingfen with wings, the reason why he was able to defeat soldier team leader Mirongjing, and the reason why he was able to defeat the stunning woman Zhu Linyun was because of dirty tricks. Ahem, it should be called a strange move. That's right, Lin Kong has always used strange moves to win by surprise. He has never defeated an opponent in a real close combat. The original text is in Liu number 9/. He has never expected to defeat his opponent through fighting skills. He has always relied on all kinds of strange and messy moves that he has researched. Therefore, when Lin Kong faced Zhao Guang's impeccable punch, Lin Kong also clenched his fist and hit Zhao Guang's chest fiercely. Haha, you sabi. The bald strong man is stronger than Lin Kong, and his arms are longer than Lin Kong's. Then, if Lin Kong also punches Zhao Guang, Lin Kong will be knocked down by Zhao Guang's punch before hitting Zhao Guang's body. Therefore, Zhao Guang laughed loudly at Lin Kong for being a complete sabi. Of course, Lin Kong also understands this. Under normal circumstances, this punch of his would definitely not hit Zhao Guang. However, Lin Kong had never followed normal circumstances. At the moment when his fist was thrown, Lin Kong's mind moved. Dinosaur possession, halfway removed. The liquid dragon armor on Lin Kong's lower body quickly detached and slid to the bottom of Lin Kong's feet. Then, it quickly turned into half of the body of a Triceratops. In other words, the Triceratops body that suddenly appeared under his feet directly raised Lin Kong's body by more than 1 meter. At the same time, Lin Kong also jumped with all his strength and raised his body again. At this moment, Lin Kong's body rose to a height of nearly 1.5 meters, while Zhao Guang was still standing in place and punching. As a result, Zhao Guang's fist, which was originally intended to hit Lin Kong's head, hit the gap between Lin Kong's legs directly, and Lin Kong's long-planned punch hit Zhao Guang fiercely from above. Zhao Guang raised his head and found Lin Kong's fist. He reacted quickly, took a step, and was about to retreat. But, it was too late. Bang! Lin Kong's punch, which contained a lot of spiritual energy, hit Zhao Guang's face firmly. This punch first hit Zhao Guang's nose, and in an instant, Zhao Guang's nose was smashed to pieces. Then, Lin Kong's fist continued to go down and hit Zhao Guang's mouth. Several white objects were seen splashing out with red blood. Those were teeth. Yes, Lin Kong's punch not only broke Zhao Guang's nose, but also smashed Zhao Guang's mouth. As for Zhao Guang's teeth, they were all knocked out. It was just the first confrontation, and Zhao Guang didn't have time to use all his strength. but Lin Kong smashed his face directly. Bang! Zhao Guang's body fell heavily to the ground. Silence. The surroundings were silent in an instant. Chapter 317 Danger Warning. Zhao Guang fainted on the ground instantly after being hit by Lin Kong's punch. After Lin Kong succeeded in his punch, he did not rush forward to pursue. Instead, he quickly retreated and withdrew from Zhao Guang's attack range. Because Lin Kong was quite surprised by the result of his punch just now, he did not expect that Zhao Guang did not use aura to protect his head during the battle. Zhao Guang is a level 4 new human. If he used aura to protect his face, even if he only used 4 or 5 strands of aura for defense, he would not be smashed by Lin Kong's punch. In fact, it cannot be said that Zhao Guang was careless. Instead, it should be said that Lin Kong's acting skills are too good. Lin Kong's cowardly look and fearful and nervous expression looked so real. Zhao Guang did not expect that Lin Kong would have the courage to fight back. What Zhao Guang did not expect was that in just the first confrontation, Lin Kong actually used a big trick, using the release of dinosaur possession, to make his body instantly fly into the air and attack him directly from above. Zhao Guang originally thought that Lin Kong was a bronze rookie. But who could have expected that this guy was actually a master of the king rank? At this moment, Zhao Guang was lying on the ground motionless. His face was smashed and blood was splattering. His head was also directly knocked unconscious by the huge impact. The green-haired young man holding the submachine gun was stunned when he saw Zhao Guang being killed in seconds. His eyes were full of confusion. Am I seeing it right? Is there something wrong with my eyes? How could brother Zhao Guang be killed in seconds? Isn't that triangle green man a coward? How could such a waste like him kill brother Zhao Guang in seconds? Scarface Zuba, who was standing aside, looked at Lin Kong's bloody fist, and then looked at Zhao Guang who was bleeding on the ground. Bang! Zuba was not paying attention and the samurai sword in his hand slipped to the ground. Hearing the sound of the samurai sword falling to the ground, Zuba came back to his senses from the shock. He picked up the samurai sword and shouted at the green-haired young man, "Why are you still standing there?" The green-haired young man heard Zuba's reminder, and he also reacted. He pointed the submachine gun at Lin Kong and was about to pull the trigger. However, when the green-haired young man saw Lin Kong's sharp eyes, he immediately became scared. The green-haired young man did not dare to pull the trigger. He was scared. Brother Zhao Guang was killed in 1 second by this triangular green-skinned man. If I rashly fight him, I will be finished. Loyalty is precious, but life is more precious. The green-haired young man did not want to attack Lin Kong and seek death. Scarface Zuba saw the green-haired youth looking scared, and immediately explained, "I didn't ask you to hit him. Hurry up and save brother Zhao Guang." Scarface Zuba was holding Shenzhou, and he had to protect Shenzhou's life and safety, so he had no time to save Zhao Guang who was bleeding. When the green-haired youth heard Zuba's explanation, he turned around and wanted to run over to save Zhao Guang. But, "You dare!" Lin Kong, who was not far away, took out a machete and pointed at the green-haired youth and said faintly. The body of the green-haired youth froze in place in an instant. He turned his head mechanically, put on an ugly smile on his face, and said to Lin Kong, "Brother, you, don't be impulsive. I won't save him." Seeing that the green-haired youth stopped moving, Lin Kong turned his eyes back to Zhao Guang on the ground. Something is wrong. Lin Kong always felt that something was wrong. It was too easy. Zhao Guang was knocked out so easily by himself that even Lin Kong felt it was unreal. Moreover, Lin Kong had a vague ominous premonition in his heart. Because Lin Kong and the Tyrannosaurus Rex were in sync, Lin Kong's perception of danger was also quite sensitive. If there was an ominous premonition in his heart, there must be potential danger nearby. However, Lin Kong didn't know where the dangerous place was. Therefore, Lin Kong did not rush forward to make up the knife in time, but quietly observed Zhao Guang's every move, temporarily maintaining a posture of full alert. The original text is available at Liu number 9 / Wu Feng and his group at the corner of the street saw Lin Kong knock out the bald man with one punch. After a brief shock, everyone cheered happily. Team leader Lin, you're awesome. I knew you could kill that bald guy in 1 second. Wow. Team leader Lin, you're so fast. You won in 1 shot. Brother Lin Kong is awesome. With another lightning fast punch, he killed the level 4 new human opponent in 1 second. Also as happy as Wu Fei and his gang were the three pink-clad men in the bank who were observing Lin Kong through water mirrors. Haha, Lin Kong fought well. He beat that bald Sabi to death, forcing the Sabi to provoke someone he shouldn't have provoked. My dear, look at the face of that bald Sabi. Haha, his nose and mouth are all broken, and all his teeth have fallen out. Seeing the miserable appearance of this bald Sabi, I am really happy. This guy who raises dinosaurs has all kinds of fancy tricks, which are endless. Previously, he used the method of removing the possession to kick Mirongjing into two pieces. Now, he has another method of removing the possession and smashed the bald man's face with a punch. Awesome, awesome, really awesome. The three of them praised Lin Kong's punch just now. The pink-coated cannon men trio originally stood on the side of the president. Their original goal was to kill Lin Kong to ensure the safety of the president. But now, because Lin Kong always has unexpected performances, coupled with many days of observation, the pink-coated cannon men trio even have a little sense of identity with this guy who raises dinosaurs. Now, because of the special identity of the bald man Zhao Guang, the pink-clad cannon trio was worried that team leader Ma would be furious and kill three of them after learning about his father's death. They decided to wait for Lin Kong to kill Zhao Guang and then help destroy Zhao Guang's body, so as to prevent team leader Ma from knowing about his father's death. In short, unconsciously, the pink-clad cannon trio no longer regarded Lin Kong, who raised dinosaurs, as a deadly enemy who must be killed. Therefore, when Lin Kong beat up the bald Sabi with one punch, the pink-clad cannon trio would feel happy and applaud. However, it is not too early to be happy. At the entrance of the hotel, Lin Kong stood in the bushes. After hesitating for a while, he threw a machete at Zhao Guang's body. Lin Kong decided to test Zhao Guang's true situation. Swish! The machete flew to Zhao Guang's chest very quickly under Lin Kong's full throw. There was the position of the heart. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 318 Zhao Guang pretends to be fainted. Lin Kong threw out this knife without any sign, and the speed of the machete flying was also very fast. However, even so, Scar Zuba also discovered the machete in time. As a level 4 new human, his reaction speed is very outstanding. If Zuba stood near Zhao Guang's body, he would be able to resist the machete. However, Zuba stood too far away. Even if his reaction speed was very fast, he couldn't run over. Although Zuba couldn't run over to block Lin Kong's machete, the green-haired young man could. The green-haired young man is also a level 4 new human. His reaction speed and movement speed are very fast. Moreover, the green-haired young man is only more than 1 meter away from Zuba. Therefore, the green-haired young man only needs a sprint to block the machete flying towards Zhao Guang's heart. However, the green-haired young man hesitated. Just now, the triangle green-skinned man had told him not to move. If he moved around, would he kill me too? The green-haired youth was not very loyal to Zhao Guang, so he would not risk his life to save Zhao Guang. Seeing the green-haired youth's hesitation, Scar Zuba shouted, "Stop the knife!" Then, before Zuba finished speaking, Lin Kong's machete had already shot in front of Zhao Guang. The tip of the knife, which was flashing with cold light, was only half a meter away from Zhao Guang's heart. Therefore, even if the green-haired youth decided to rescue Zhao Guang at this moment, he would not have time to grab the machete. Originally, Zhao Guang was only beaten half of his face. With his strong recovery ability as a level 4 new human, it would be estimated that he would be healed in less than half a day, and all his teeth would grow back. However, if this machete hit Zhao Guang's heart, then Zhao Guang would really die. Once the heart is damaged, his entire body's blood circulation system will be paralyzed. Even if Zhao Guang's recovery ability is strong, it will be useless. Therefore, this knife must not be inserted into the heart. Zuba wanted to block the knife, but he couldn't. The green-haired young man missed the best opportunity to resist when he was hesitant. Just when the two thought Zhao Guang was doomed, a turning point happened. Snap! A strong and powerful palm firmly grasped the edge of the machete. Because the palm was wrapped in white spiritual energy, the skin of the palm was not cut by the sharp edge of the machete. The owner of this palm surprised Zuba and the green-haired young man, because the owner of this palm was none other than Zhao Guang himself. Seeing this scene, the green-haired young man was delighted. "Great, brother Zhao Guang, you didn't faint." Zhao Guang didn't answer. He couldn't answer because his jaw was completely broken. Zhao Guang sat up straight from the ground with a bloody face. He looked quite scary. Zhao Guang's eyes were emitting red bloodthirsty light. He stared straight at Lin Kong. Lin Kong also stared at Zhao Guang intently, without showing too much surprise on his face. Sure enough, this guy is pretending to be dizzy. Lin Kong slowly narrowed his eyes. His eyes penetrated Zhao Guang's rough appearance and saw his delicate heart. This bald man is very experienced. Just now, because of my excellent acting skills, I deceived this bald man and made him not too vigilant, so my punch was successful. Because the bald man's superpower is related to the spirit, so Lin Kong estimated that his punch, although it can knock out someone like Zhu Linyun, can't knock out the bald man who is very strong in spirit. Indeed, the real situation is just as Lin Kong guessed. After Zhao Guang was hit in the face by Lin Kong's punch, he only entered a dizzy state for a short time. With his strong mental power, Zhao Guang quickly got rid of the dizziness and returned to normal. However, the original text is in Liu number 9 / he didn't get up immediately. Zhao Guang came up with a plan and decided to act like the triangle green man. He pretended to faint and continued to lie on the ground. Even with his eyes closed, Zhao Guang could easily find Lin Kong's position with the sensing ability of a level 4 new human. Once Lin Kong approached him, Zhao Guang would launch a thunderous attack and kill Lin Kong instantly. Moreover, Zhao Guang's superpower, mental interference, would be more powerful against enemies closer to him. Once Lin Kong wanted to get close to him to finish him off, it would be basically impossible for Lin Kong to escape Zhao Guang's superpower attack. The original plan of pretending to faint should have worked. However, Zhao Guang did not expect that this triangle green man not only did not approach, but also retreated to a farther bush. Zhao Guang's plan fell through. There was no other way, so he decided to continue pretending to faint. Even if this triangle green man did not come over, his partner would come over to check. At that time, it would be a good idea to kill this guy's partner first to vent his anger. What surprised Zhao Guang again was that Lin Kong actually threw a machete at him. If it was an ordinary level 4 new human, he would not be able to react without opening his eyes. Fortunately, Zhao Guang's superpower is mental interference, and his mental strength is also far beyond that of ordinary level 4 new humans. Zhao Guang's mind, through the perception of the surrounding air fluctuations, promptly discovered the machete that was shot at his heart. Although the speed of the machete was very fast, Zhao Guang's hand speed was even faster. He closed his eyes and caught the deadly machete. After catching the machete, Zhao Guang could no longer pretend to be fainted. He stood up helplessly. With a pair of angry eyes, he stared at the triangle green man in the bushes. Zhao Guang did not launch an attack immediately, because he had already regarded Lin Kong as a truly powerful opponent. He would no longer arrogantly think that this triangle green man was just a coward. He had to do his best to deal with this enemy in front of him who was good at disguise and made strange moves. Lin Kong, seeing that Zhao Guang did not launch a surprise attack immediately, also became nervous. Lin Kong did not rush to attack first. The reason why his punch was successful just now was all due to the sneak attack. If he rushed forward head-on, it would be difficult to cause substantial damage to Zhao Guang. He had to think of an unexpected move. Snap! Lin Kong pulled out a leaf of wild grass. He put the leaf to his mouth and chewed it slowly. A brand new move was also formed in Lin Kong's mind. Chapter 319 The Hidden Ability of Superpowers. One punch. Lin Kong decided that he would kill the bald man with one punch. He had used different punches to kill the level 4 Bigfoot secretary zombie, and the beautiful woman Zhu Linyun, who was also level 4. Then, let this bald man, who was also a level 4 new human, enjoy the feeling of being killed with one punch. Just now, Lin Kong used the method of removing Dinosaur possession, to unexpectedly smash the bald man's face with one punch. The bald man was obviously an experienced fighter and would not suffer twice in the same place. Therefore, Lin Kong must not use the same punch to attack the bald man. He had to use a completely new punch. When Lin Kong stood still, the bald man moved. Zhao Wang waved at the green-haired young man and winked at him. The green-haired youth was stunned at first, and Zhu Ba, who was holding Shan Zu's scarred face, immediately reminded, "Hurry up, why don't you heal brother Zhao Wang?" With Zhu Ba's reminder, the green-haired youth put away the submachine gun in his hand and ran over to treat Zhao Wang. It is worth mentioning that the superpowers of each new human have dual functions. For example, Zhi Wang's perspective ability. On the surface, this ability can only be used to penetrate the clothes of beautiful women and see the indescribable things inside. But in fact, Zhi Wang's perspective ability can also see the injuries of his companions and treat them with spiritual energy in a targeted manner. Another example is Fang Guonan's superpower, beast communication. On the surface, the function of this ability is to talk to the beasts, chat, and exchange feelings. But in fact, this beast communication also has a potential special ability, which is to perceive the value of beast feces. It is because of this potential special ability that Fang Guonan can use the feces of various mutant beasts to grow various special magical vegetables. For example, Lin Kong's Tyrannosaurus Rex, its forbidden fire eye, on the surface, is a superpower to imprison the enemy. In fact, forbidden fire eye has another hidden ability, which is Overlord Flame, which is almost immune to all control. Since everyone's superpowers have hidden abilities, then what is the hidden ability of the green-haired young man's? Plant communication? Naturally, it is healing. The green-haired young man casually pulled out a few wild grasses that came out of the cracks in the ground. Buzz tilde. The green-haired young man circulated his spiritual energy, and the palms of his hands were immediately filled with a burst of green light. Then, he put the few wild grasses he had just pulled out in the palms of his hands and rubbed them. Soon, a round green ball was formed. Finally, the green-haired young man put this small ball of wild grass emitting a faint green light on Zhao Wang's forehead. Wow! The originally solid wild grass ball immediately turned into a ball of green liquid. Zhao Wang's forehead was like a sponge, greedily absorbing all the green liquid. As the green liquid disappeared, Zhao Wang's smashed face immediately underwent a particularly obvious change. In a burst of green light, the broken nose fell off, and a fresh wide nose grew out. This nose was exactly the same as Zhao Wang's original nose. Then came the mouth. In just 3 or 4 seconds, the broken parts fell off like snake skin, and the newly grown mouth made the whole rotten face return to its original appearance. Zhao Wang opened his mouth and stuck out his tongue. He tried to cough and found that his whole head had recovered. Very good. Zhao Wang knew that the green-haired young man had not saved Zhao Wang before, but Zhao Wang did not immediately blame the green-haired young man. The green-haired young man could be dealt with later. The most important thing now was to get rid of the triangular green-skinned man in front of him. Lin Kong stood in the bushes and still did not move. Even when Zhao Wang was healing, Lin Kong did not take the opportunity to attack him. Lin Kong knew that his fighting skills were very rubbish. If he launched a rash attack, he would only expose a lot of flaws. The best strategy was to let Zhao Wang attack him first. The original text is available at 6:9. Zhao Wang looked at Lin Kong, who was fully alert and motionless, and a hint of ridicule appeared on the corner of his mouth. "You acted well as a coward just now. I was fooled by you." This time, although Zhao Wang was laughing at Lin Kong on the surface, he was actually very serious. He was thinking hard about how to attack later. Facing Zhao Wang's ridicule, Lin Kong did not pretend to be a coward like before. "Now this bald strong man is already on guard against my acting skills, so if I pretend to be a coward again, it will not have any effect at all." Therefore, Lin Kong curled his lips and said sarcastically, "You were really pretending to be dead just now, almost like a dead person. But don't worry, I will help you and make you a real dead person later." This time, Lin Kong no longer adopted the strategy of cowardly showing weakness. On the contrary, Lin Kong adopted the irritation tactic. Lin Kong wanted to make the bald man fall into a state of anger. When a person is angry, He cannot consider the details and is more likely to reveal flaws, and Lin Kong can take the opportunity to seize the flaws of the bald man and launch a fatal attack on him. However, what Lin Kong did not expect was that Zhao Wang sneered, "Hee, kid, are you trying to provoke me?" Lin Kong was not discouraged by the fact that the bald man was not irritated by him. He continued, "Yo, did I just punch you into a coward? I called you a dead man, but you still laughed. Haha, is there pig shit in your brain? No wonder you are bald. It turns out that pig shit is in your brain, so you can't grow hair." Regardless of whether the irritation tactic is successful or not, he will scold the bald man first. "You are just good at talking, and when I use the next move, you will be dead." Zhao Wang's performance was surprisingly calm. He exuded a suppressive force, and then contracted the suppressive force on the fists of both hands, turning it into a black fixed-point suppressive force. Zhao Wang has adjusted his mentality to the best state. He has also thought about how to attack Lin Kong later and how to deal with the strange moves that Lin Kong just performed. As long as this triangular green man dares to use the same move again, I will definitely kill him in 1 second, Zhao Wang thought to himself. However, he never expected that Lin Kong would not use the same move again. Before the two of them started fighting, Zhao Wang had already lost in his plan. Chapter 320 Shenzhou wakes up. In a bank 1 kilometer away, the three pink-clad gunmen watched Zhao Wang revive with full health on the spot with the help of the green-haired young man, and they all gloated over his misfortune. Alas, why bother? It would be fine if this bald sabi didn't stand up, but you insisted on standing up. Aren't you asking for trouble? Husband, you're right. This bald sabi is really trash. He has no self-awareness at all. He was obviously killed in one punch by Lin Kong, but he still dared to stand up and continue to fight. He really won't cry until he sees the coffin. Sure enough, we call this bald sabi. There is nothing wrong with it, because this bald guy is indeed a big sabi. The pink-clad gunman and the spoiled woman all agreed that Lin Kong would kill the bald sabi again. However, the plump woman had a different opinion. She crossed her arms, frowned, and said thoughtfully, "I think this time, the dinosaur owner may not be able to kill the bald sabi in 1 second." Because the bald sabi did not have much emotional fluctuations in the face of Lin Kong's anger tactics, which means that he may have thought of a way to deal with Lin Kong. The coquettish woman did not agree with the analysis of the plump woman. "I bet you that the dinosaur owner will still kill the bald sabi in 1 second this time." While the three pink-clad cannon men were arguing fiercely, Wu Fei and his group were not idle. Wu Fei, who blindly worshipped Lin Kong, naturally felt that no matter how the bald man stood up and how quickly he recovered from his injuries, he would still be beaten into a pig's head by Lin. Wu Fei believed that in this world, no level 4 new human being could have the strength to defeat Lin. Li Minutes secretly held Wu Fei's hand, her eyes fixed on the figures of Lin Kong and Zhao Wang, a little nervous. Although she also believed that Lin Kong could escape danger again, Li Minutes found that the bald man was emitting a special wave. The special strange wave made Li Minutes find that her mind became a little dazed. Zi Wang, who was standing by, also felt a little dazed. Zi Wang was using his perspective eyes to observe the changes in the bald man's body. Through the bald man's clothes, skin and flesh, you can see the inside of his body. The spiritual energy is rapidly concentrating in the bald man's head. Then, the spiritual energy in the bald man's head vibrated rapidly. At the same time, in Zi Wang's field of vision, the bald man's head was twisted, and his facial features were twisted into a blurry mass. Zi Wang could no longer use his perspective eyes to see the situation inside the bald man's head. Zi Wang temporarily closed his perspective eyes, and when he observed with his normal naked eyes, he was surprised to find that the bald man's head was not twisted at all. Zi Wang opened his perspective eyes again, and in his field of vision, the bald man's head was twisted again. After turning the perspective eye on and off, Zi Wang had figured out the reason. It was obvious that the bald man was using a strange move. Zi Wang wanted to remind Lin Kong. He looked at Lin Kong and found that the latter's face was quite solemn. Obviously, Brother Lin Kong had also discovered the abnormality of the bald man's head. Since Brother Lin Kong has discovered it, I don't need to remind him again. Zi Wang was afraid that his rash voice would disturb Lin Kong's attention, so he didn't speak. He quietly greeted Wu Fei and asked the latter to be ready to rush over to help Lin Kong at any time. As Zi Wang guessed, Zhao Wang was indeed brewing a big move. Lin Kong also discovered this. He frowned and found that his vision was gradually showing double images. Lin Kong gritted his teeth and forced his mind to be clearer. Even if he used his toes to think, Lin Kong could guess that Zhao Wang was about to use a mental attack. While Zhao Wang was preparing a powerful mental attack, his mouth gradually curled up, revealing an evil smile. You don't have a chance to beg for mercy. When I use my next move, you will become a madman. Lin Kong secretly urged the live fire in his right eye and turned it around in his mind. In just a moment, Lin Kong's vision returned to normal. My live fire is so abnormal. Not only can it revive me on the spot, but it can also instantly eliminate the effects of mental attacks. Haha. Who can kill me with such a powerful plug-in? Lin Kong couldn't help but feel a little proud. Although Lin Kong was already very happy, his face did not show it. On the contrary, Lin Kong pretended to be uncomfortable. Zhao Wang didn't know that Lin Kong was acting again. He firmly believed that no one could stop his superpower, mental interference. If this triangle green-skinned man could stop it, he would not fall from the sky. Read the original text at LU number 9 at book/bar. Therefore, considering that Lin Kong was falling from the air, Zhao Wang judged that Lin Kong could not withstand the mental attack. Zhao Wang leaned forward, tensed his muscles, and was about to rush towards Lin Kong. Suddenly, Brother Zhao Wang, why are you here? A familiar sweet female voice came from behind. Zhao Wang turned his head and looked. It was Shenzhou who had just woken up. Zhao Wang could ignore other people, but because of Shenzhou's words, Zhao Wang had to temporarily give up their plan to attack Lin Kong. He first looked at Lin Kong and took a few steps back to prevent Lin Kong from suddenly running up and attacking him. Then, Zhao Wang trotted to Shenzhou's side. He said in a gentle voice, "Zhuo, is there anything wrong with your body?" Shenzhou shook her head, tears flashing in her eyes. "My body is fine, but I'm a little sad because I killed a zombie friend with my own hands." Although Zhao Wang could restore Shenzhou's spirit to normal, he could not make Shenzhou completely forget the sadness. He did not eliminate Shenzhou's memory bubble, because, if Shenzhou's memory bubble is eliminated, it may cause irreversible damage to Shenzhou's brain. Therefore, Zhao Wang could only watch Shenzhou reveal an expression of self-blame and guilt. He hugged Shenzhou's body, patted the latter's back, and said comfortingly, "Don't worry, Zhuo. I will find more zombie friends for you in the future." Shenzhou snuggled in Zhao Wang's arms and nodded. She tilted her head and suddenly saw Lin Kong. Lin Kong thought that after Shenzhou woke up, she would speak for him to resolve this battle. But what Lin Kong didn't expect was that when Shenzhou saw Lin Kong, her eyebrows instantly stood up. She left Zhao Wang's arms and pointed at Lin Kong angrily and said, "Brother Zhao Wang, kill that bastard for me." Chapter 321. Feint to the east and attack in the west. Previously, although Shenzhou was in a state of great self-blame, she could also feel everything that was happening around her. However, she was too lazy to pay attention to everything around her. Even though she was frozen by the ice ball, Shenzhou's extremely guilty mood did not fluctuate at all. However, later, Shenzhou discovered that Lin Kong had given Zhu Linian a very vicious plan. He was going to torture and kill the lovely zombie friends in front of her all the time. Such a heartless and extremely vicious method made Shenzhou quite angry. However, Shenzhou was frozen by the ice ball, and Zhu Linian was also guarding her by her side. She had no chance of escaping. In despair, Shenzhou circulated her spiritual energy to put herself in a coma in order to prevent herself from watching those lovely zombie friends die in front of her. Although she had no way to save those poor zombie friends, she could at least close her eyes and shut down her thoughts so that she would not have to endure the helplessness, the entanglement, and the deep pain. Shenzhou didn't know how long it had been. When Zhao Wang treated her, Shenzhou felt that her mind was gradually becoming clear. Although she heard the noise around her in a daze, Shenzhou slowly opened her clear eyes. She saw a familiar figure, a bald head, a sturdy bald head. It was him, Zhao Wang. Shenzhou recognized Zhao Wang, She was very happy. Shenzhou knew that Zhao Guang's superpower, mental interference, could always pay attention to her mental state. He must have sensed the drastic changes in my mind, so he rushed to save me in time. Then, Shenzhou looked around again, and she was surprised to find a headless corpse in a red dress lying not far away. Shenzhou only took a few quick glances and understood the identity of the headless red dress corpse. The headless red dress corpse had a perfect and graceful figure like a fairy in the sky. Even if Shenzhou thought with her toes, she could guess that the headless red dress corpse was Zhu Linyun, the stunning woman who made all male animals in the world crazy. The head has been chopped off. It is definitely dead. Shenzhou subconsciously thought that it was Zhao Guang who did it, because Lin Kong and his group have always been obedient to Zhu Linyun. There is no way they have the motive to kill Zhu Linyun. Moreover, Lin Kong and his group are only at the level of level 3. Even if they have the motive to kill Zhu Linyun, they do not have the corresponding strength to get rid of Zhu Linyun. Also, when Lin Kong killed Zhu Linyun, Shenzhou was in a coma, and she did not see it at all. Even after Lin Kong dissolved Shenzhou's ice ball, Shenzhou woke up from the coma. Her mind did not return to normal, and she walked to the bathroom and kept banging her head against the wall. In short, Shenzhou did not know the good things Lin Kong did, nor did she know that it was Lin Kong who killed Zhu Linyun. She only remembered Lin Kong's vicious scheme, and she had a huge hatred for Lin Kong. This hatred was only a little less than that of Zhu Linyun. So, when Shenzhou and Zhao Guang hugged each other, when Shenzhou found that the triangle green-skinned man was still alive, she was angry. Although she failed to kill the hateful woman Zhu Linyun with her own hands, it would be fine if she could kill the insidious and vicious triangle green-skinned man now. Shenzhou broke away from Zhao Guang's arms. She knew that her strength had not been fully recovered. Therefore, Shenzhou directly ordered Zhao Guang to kill Lin Kong. "Brother Zhao Guang, kill that bastard for me." Shenzhou called the bald strong man brother. In fact, Shenzhou is about 18 years old. The bald strong man, as the father of team leader Ma, is already in his 40s today. The difference between the two is more than 20 years old. Shenzhou should call Zhao Guang uncle to be more decent. However, Zhao Guang likes Shenzhou to call him brother, which makes him look younger, and Shenzhou also seems to be very dependent on Zhao Guang. Shenzhou once saved Zhao Guang's life. She was not only Zhao Guang's savior, but also his lover. Therefore, Zhao Guang naturally obeyed Shenzhou's orders. Moreover, even if Shenzhou didn't ask him to kill the triangle green man, Zhao Guang probably wouldn't let him go easily. After all, as a man, how could he tolerate a guy who froze his lover and savior into ice and lived in this world? Zhao Guang nodded at Shenzhou. "Don't worry, I'll kill him now." Lin Kong watched the conversation between Shenzhou and Zhao Guang. He originally wanted to explain that the reason he froze Shenzhou into ice was to save her. If Lin Kong hadn't frozen Shenzhou's body into ice, if Lin Kong hadn't lied about torturing Shenzhou, Shenzhou would have been killed by Zhu Linyun by now. However, Lin Kong knew that even if he told Shenzhou and Zhao Guang this explanation, they probably wouldn't believe it. Read the original text at LU number 9/. After Zhao Guang and Shenzhou finished talking, they walked over with a ferocious look. There was a cold look in Zhao Guang's eyes. On the surface, although Zhao Guang looked ferocious, Lin Kong found that Zhao Guang's steps were extremely calm and steady. This bald strong man did not relax at all. "This bald strong man has made up his mind to kill me." Lin Kong stopped talking and no longer had the idea of resolving this battle. He could only kill them. Lin Kong originally only wanted to kill Zhao Guang alone, but now, Lin Kong decided to kill both Zhao Guang and Shenzhou. Since he wanted to kill this pair of ill-fated mandarin ducks, Lin Kong changed his original plan. He decided to attack. Without waiting for Zhao Guang to come over, Lin Kong leaned forward and rushed directly towards Zhao Guang. Lin Kong always carried 2 machetes with him. Just now when he was testing whether Zhao Guang was pretending to faint, Lin Kong had already used up a machete. So, he still had a machete. Swish. He took out the last machete. The blade of the machete flashed sharp in the afternoon sun. "Go to hell." Lin Kong threw the machete directly at Zhao Guang's face. Lin Kong's Triceratops was only a level 3 mutant beast, so the power added to Lin Kong was not more than that of Zhao Guang, who was level 4. Therefore, Facing the throw of the triangle green man, Zhao Guang, who had a super fast reaction speed, could naturally catch the machete. Snap! Sure enough, the machete was caught. A smug smile appeared at the corner of Zhao Guang's mouth. However, at this moment, a blue light shot towards Shenzu not far away. Chapter 322 The seventh kill with one punch. When you face two enemies at the same time, the best tactic is to attack from the east while making a feint to the west. So, when Lin Kong decided to kill Shenzu and Zhao Guang, the ill-fated couple, he immediately thought of the tactic of attack from the east while making a feint to the west. So, he pretended to throw the machete at Zhao Guang, but secretly let the 7 black balls aim at Shenzu. Shenzu's attention was all focused on Zhao Guang, and she didn't notice the motionless 7 black balls at all. Therefore, when the blue cold air shot at Shenzu, Shenzu didn't react at all. Shenzu is different from Zhao Guang. She has very little combat experience and her vigilance is not high. She is also angry because she wants to get rid of Lin Kong. To sum up, Shenzu was directly frozen into a human-shaped ice sculpture by the sudden blue cold air. Zhao Guang looked back and saw this scene, and he was very upset. I was careless. Although Zhao Guang had been reminding himself to concentrate all his attention, he never expected that Lin Kong would come up with a very insidious trick of making a feint to the east and attacking in the west. It was really abominable. Zhao Guang was very angry. However, his veteran combat experience allowed Zhao Guang to suppress his anger. He was not controlled by his emotions. He had to calm down so that he could defeat that bastard triangle green man. Zhao Guang was very angry and worried. He was angry that this triangle green man dared to attack Shenzu, a woman. He was worried that Shenzu, who was frozen into an ice sculpture, would be in danger of life. In an instant, Zhao Guang came to the conclusion, it's okay. Although the blue cold air looked scary, and Shenzu was frozen into a big ice sculpture, however, Zhao Guang took a closer look and easily found Shenzu in the ice, blinking a few times. Moreover, the ice on Shenzu's head had begun to peel off. In other words, Shenzu was not fatally injured. Indeed, Lin Kong's 7 black balls were nothing more than a level 3 mutant beast. Although Shenzu had little combat experience and poor fighting skills, she was a legitimate level 4 new human. Lin Kong's 7 black balls were more than 10 meters away from Shenzu. How could he kill Shenzu instantly with just 7 black freeze? It was absolutely impossible, unless he got close to the back of Shenzu's head and used 7 black freeze on Shenzu. It would be possible to kill Shenzu, who was level 4, instantly. Zhao Guang, who had thought this through, made a wise decision. No matter what Shenzu was, he would kill the triangular green-skinned man first. To capture a thief, you must first capture the king. There is no doubt that the strange black ball must be controlled by this triangular green-skinned man. It's a long story, but Zhao Guang only thought about it for more than a second. After thinking, Zhao Guang turned his head with anger and calmness, and gnashed his teeth and said, "You are looking for death." However, when Zhao Guang finished these 4 words, Lin Kong had already rushed in front of Zhao Guang. Lin Kong raised his fist, and he shouted and hit the tall Zhao Guang, "Look, I will kill you with one punch." Seeing Lin Kong raised his fist again, Zhao Guang raised a barely perceptible sneer at the corner of his mouth. "Humphrey, you want that trick again? Haha, I have been prepared for that trick of yours. You are dead." Zhao Guang was sure of victory. He took a step back with his right leg. This step would be the key to killing the triangle green man. As long as the triangle green man dared to jump into the air again with the trick just now, Zhao Guang's right leg, which had taken a step back, would directly kick Lin Kong to death. His right leg was already full of strength, and no matter how fast the triangle green man reacted, he could not avoid my kick. Zhao Guang was very confident in his kick. This time, he was fully prepared. This time, he concentrated all his energy. This time, he was not careless, did not despise, and did not disdain. This time, he was serious. This time, he must kill this triangular green man. "Come on!" Gently, 2 words came out of Zhao Guang's lips. Zhao Guang's eyes were burning with a fiery fighting spirit. His face showed absolute confidence. However, The accident happened again. Who tilde? Lin Kong's punch stopped 1 meter away from Zhao Guang's head. Lin Kong did not jump up. The original text is in Liu number 9/. Lin Kong did not use any tricks. Lin Kong's fist was powerful and exuded a strong spiritual light. Lin Kong's fist accumulated all the strength of his body. Lin Kong's fist shouted to kill the bald man in seconds. However, such a brave and invincible straight punch did not hit Zhao Guang's head at all. To be exact, not only did he miss Zhao Guang's head, but he also missed a piece of Zhao Guang's clothes, a full meter away. Oh my god, that's a distance of 1 meter. This is too outrageous. Lin Kong's fist actually stopped 1 meter away from Zhao Guang. Everyone looked at Lin Kong's fist, all with a black question mark on their heads. Previously, Lin Kong smashed half of Zhao Guang's face with one punch. That punch was so amazing, but at this moment, Lin Kong's punch stopped 1 meter away from Zhao Guang. This punch was too bad. Even if Shen Zhu played, she would definitely be better than Lin Kong. Everyone was greatly surprised by Lin Kong's punch, and Lin Kong himself looked quite embarrassed. My hand seems to be too short. Zhao Guang is an experienced fighter. Although Lin Kong's punch was very outrageous and ridiculous, Zhao Guang did not laugh. Zhao Guang was still on high alert. You still want to trick me? You are too naive. Zhao Guang was already on guard. Just now, Lin Kong pretended to be a coward, which successfully lowered Zhao Guang's defense. Zhao Guang could be tricked once, but he would never be tricked twice. Therefore, Zhao Guang has now focused 100% of his attention. Even if Lin Kong suddenly stabbed him with a knife, Zhao Guang would not be careless. Therefore, facing Lin Kong's ridiculous punch just now, Zhao Guang would only think that Lin Kong was acting. Zhao Guang thought that Lin Kong was pretending to make a mistake and waiting for his vigilance to decrease. However, seeing that Zhao Guang was still extremely vigilant, Lin Kong did not show a disappointed expression. Instead, he smiled evilly. Suddenly, a green light shot out from Lin Kong's sleeve. This green light hit Zhao Guang's bald head like lightning. Puff, cleanly and neatly, without any suspense. This green light pierced a hole in Zhao Guang's head. At this point, Zhao Guang died. Chapter 323 The reason behind the instant kill. You may ask, what is that green light coming out of Lin Kong's sleeve? Of course it is the 5-centimeter tall forest pteranodons. Then, another question comes. Zhao Guang, a level 4 new human, was clearly defending wholeheartedly. So why was he still killed in seconds? Because the distance between the two was too close. At that time, Lin Kong's fist was only 1 meter away from Zhao Guang's head, and the forest pteranodon was hiding in the sleeve under Lin Kong's wrist, 1 meter away from Zhao Guang's head. As a level 4 mutant beast, the flying speed of the forest pteranodon is 200 meters per second. Divide 1 meter by 200, and you can get the time. 0.005 seconds. In other words, it only takes 0.005 seconds for the forest pteranodon to fly from Lin Kong's sleeve to Zhao Guang's head. With such a fast speed, even if Zhao Guang is a level 5 new human, it is estimated that it is difficult to react. Of course, when the forest pteranodon flies out of the sleeve, it needs time to accelerate. However, even with the acceleration time, the time it took for the forest pteranodon to fly to Zhao Guang's head would not exceed 0.01 seconds. In short, Zhao Guang only had time to say half a fuck crap in his heart before he was killed. Because the forest pteranodon was too fast, Zhao Guang's eyes could not even catch the figure of the forest pteranodon. He only saw a flash of green light on the cuff of Lin Kong's right fist. Apart from that, he saw nothing else, because, the next moment after seeing the flash of green light in Lin Kong's cuff, his mind went black. His soul had also left his body and reported to hell. When he died, Zhao Guang didn't know how he went black. It was like the power in his home suddenly tripped on a rainy night. There was no sign, no warning, no suspense. It was gone. Bang! Zhao Guang's strong and sturdy body fell straight to the ground with a dull thump. A hole with a diameter of about 5 centimeters appeared on his forehead. Looking through the hole, it can be found that the brain inside was also directly penetrated. Dead, deader than dead. With his brain destroyed, Zhao Guang didn't even have the chance to turn into a zombie. Lin Kong was very satisfied with the result. Just now, The reason why Lin Kong retreated into the bushes was to quietly hide the forest pterosaur in his sleeves. The real purpose of Lin Kong's punch at Zhao Guang was not to smash Zhao Guang's face with one punch, nor to pretend to make a mistake to lower Zhao Guang's vigilance. Lin Kong simply wanted the forest pterosaur to get closer to Zhao Guang. Regardless of whether Lin Kong threw that punch or not, Zhao Guang was doomed to die when he rushed in front of Zhao Guang. Originally, Lin Kong's plan was to let Zhao Guang rush towards him. However, judging from the results of him rushing towards him and him rushing towards him were almost the same. Zhao Guang was dead. The only regret was that Lin Kong had not seen Zhao Guang's mental attack. After all, it was the first time for Lin Kong to fight against a new human of the mental type, and he still wanted to know the attack methods of the new human of the mental type. Of course, if Lin Kong was allowed to attack again, he would still choose to use the simplest and most brutal way to kill Zhao Guang in 1 second, rather than seeing some mental attack methods or other messy things. The green-haired young man on the side saw that the bald strong man was killed in 1 second again. He stared at Zhao Guang's head blankly and didn't react for a long time. The scarred Zhu Ba, who was holding the samurai sword, dropped the samurai sword in his hand to the ground with a clang. This time, he was in deep shock. The samurai sword lay quietly on the ground. Zhu Ba even forgot to pick up his beloved samurai sword. Wu Fei and Li Minutes at the corner of the street were still confused. "Hey, why did the bald man suddenly fall down? What's the matter with that green light?" The original text is in Liu number 9/. The other new humans at level 2 were also confused. They were very confused about what method Lin Kong used to kill his opponent in 1 second. Only Zi Wang, who had his perspective eyes on, could understand the secret. He said slowly, "The bald man's head has been pierced by brother Lin Kong's green pterosaur." Upon hearing the good news, Wu Fei hugged Li Minutes and immediately cheered loudly. "Awesome! Squad leader Lin is awesome! Ha ha ha! A level 4 new human is nothing. As long as you meet squad leader Lin, you will be killed in seconds. Ha ha ha! Everyone is scum. Only squad leader Lin is invincible." Li Minutes was speechless when she saw Wu Fei's admiring look. Although Li Minutes also thought that Lin Kong was very powerful. "But, Fei, you don't have to act so exaggerated." She looked at Lin Kong in dark green dragon armor from a distance, and felt relieved. At first, Li Minutes thought that this enemy with mental attacks was very difficult to deal with. But unexpectedly, Lin Kong still defeated the enemy easily. From beginning to end, it only took 2 punches. The first punch directly smashed half of the enemy's face. The second punch directly turned the enemy into a dead man, and the enemy didn't even have time to use any mental attack. Li Minutes looked at the body of the bald man and couldn't help laughing. She guessed in her heart that the bald man was probably still holding back a big move to deal with Lin the squad leader. Ha ha ha. It's a pity that the bald man didn't use any big moves. He must be very depressed. Thinking of this, Li Minutes couldn't help but chuckle. Indeed, just as Li Minutes thought, Zhao Guang really had a big move. He had killed Lin Kong directly in the official fight. However, Lin Kong didn't get close to him at all, and directly killed him with the forest pterosaur from a distance of 1 meter. If Zhao Guang was still alive, he would definitely be depressed to vomit blood. At the same time, in a bank 1 kilometer away, the 3 pink-coated gunmen were both gloating and worried. They were gloating because the bald Sabi really died in Lin Kong's hands. The prediction of water of the future was verified again. Moreover, he was killed instantly by Lin Kong without any suspense. The danger level of Lin Kong was once again raised to a higher level in the mind of the pink-coated cannon man. In the last battle, Lin Kong killed Zhu Linian in seconds. Zhu Linian was completely unguarded and his defense was pitifully low. In this battle, the bald man was 100% focused and did not relax at all. However, he still could not escape the fate of being killed in seconds. After this battle, the pink-coated cannon man truly realized that Lin Kong could definitely threaten the life and safety of the president. Chapter 324 The 8th Kill with 1 Punch. The pink-coated gunman trio gloated over the fact that the bald Sabi had indeed died. The 3 of them were worried about Zhao Guang's son. Team leader Ma, the plump woman, planned to use zombies to eat the body of the bald Sabi, so she asked the pink-coated gunman, "Husband, Can you predict if there are any zombies hiding nearby? In this Zheong city, mutant beasts are everywhere, but there are very few zombies. It is necessary to use the pink-coated gunman's superpower, Water of the Future, to easily find zombies. However, the pink-coated gunman seemed to be thinking about something, and he ignored the plump woman. The plump woman pushed the pink-coated gunman's shoulder and asked again, and the pink-coated gunman came back to his senses. "Oh, Zeman, looking for zombies, right? Okay." Then, the pink-coated gunman quickly predicted the hiding places of the zombies around. After using Water of the Future to find zombies, the pink-coated gunman fell into deep thought again. "Honey, what's wrong with you?" The plump woman couldn't help but ask worriedly when she saw that the pink-clad man was in a bad mood. The pink-clad man raised the water ball in his hand and replied, "My Water of the Future suddenly predicted something dangerous. However, it doesn't know where the specific danger is, nor does it know where the danger will appear. I asked it where it is safe, but it couldn't predict it." The plump woman and the coquettish woman were shocked when they heard it. "Dangerous things? Be prepared to escape at any time, I will predict it again." As he said that, the pink-clad man closed his eyes and continued to communicate with the Water of the Future in his hand, trying to find out the source of the danger. The pink-clad man can detect the danger in the future because he has Water of the Future. The people at the door of the hotel do not have the ability to predict the future, so they naturally cannot detect the danger. They are focusing their attention on the dead Zhao Guang. Bang! Shenzhou was shocked and angry when she saw Zhao Guang was suddenly killed. She shook hard, and all the ice cubes on her body were instantly shaken to pieces. Shenzhou didn't care about the ice chips on her body. She stepped heavily on the ground with her legs, and her body shot towards Lin Kong angrily like an arrow. She had to tear this triangular green man to pieces. Shenzhou didn't calculate whether she could beat Lin Kong. She just wanted to kill Lin Kong. If she had a little bit of reason, she would know that she was not Lin Kong's opponent at all. Zhao Guang's fighting power was far better than Shenzhou's. Zhao Guang was killed by Lin Kong in seconds, so Lin Kong's fighting power was far greater than Shenzhou's. At this moment, Shenzhou rushed towards Lin Kong head-on. "Isn't this courting death?" Shenzhou gritted her teeth, clenched her fists, and her eyes were full of red bloodshot. Her fists were covered with black directional suppression force. It was full of surging power, but unfortunately, she couldn't rush to Lin Kong at all. Before she ran a few steps, a blue cold air shot towards her head-on. Crack, crack, crack. The cold air froze Shenzhou's whole body with a thick layer of ice again. However, the effect of repeating the old trick was not good. A shot of 7 black frost only made Shenzhou's figure pause for a second. Bang! There was only a bang. Shenzhou shook with all her strength and easily shattered the ice on her body. "You're dead!" Shenzhou roared. When she was about to rush towards Lin Kong, she found that her shoulder was heavy, as if there was something. Shenzhou turned her head and was shocked to find that a flaming red Tyrannosaurus Rex had jumped onto her shoulder at some point. Lin Kong knew that 7 black frost could not kill Shenzhou instantly. Therefore, 7 black frost was just a cover. This skill was just to attract Shenzhou's attention. While Shenzhou was fully focused on dealing with the cold air shot at her, Lin Kong had secretly let the Tyrannosaurus Rex quietly jump onto Shenzhou's shoulder from behind. Scarface Zuba shouted to Shenzhou, "Be careful." Zuba also focused all his attention on Lin Kong. He didn't realize that there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex hidden inside the hotel. Therefore, when the Tyrannosaurus Rex jumped onto Shenzhou's shoulder, Zuba was too late to rescue her. As for the green-haired young man next to him, he had no way to save Shenzhou. He was in fear of Zhao Guang's death. The original text is available at Liu number 9/. He didn't expect Lin Kong to be so fierce. Therefore, if Shenzhou wanted to survive, she had to rely on herself. When she saw the Tyrannosaurus Rex on her shoulder, an extremely dangerous warning appeared in her mind. She wanted to punch the Tyrannosaurus Rex on her shoulder, but it was too late. She didn't have time to punch the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The mouth of the Tyrannosaurus Rex was only 10 centimeters away from the cervical vertebrae behind Shenzhou's neck. With such a short distance, The Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't even need 0.001 of time. If Shenzhou wanted to knock the Tyrannosaurus Rex away, she had to retract her fist, adjust her position, and then hit the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This series of actions took Shenzhou at least 0.1 seconds. Shenzhou needed 0.1 seconds, while the Tyrannosaurus Rex only needed 0.001 seconds. The difference between the two was 100 times. Therefore, without any suspense, the Tyrannosaurus Rex used its snow-white and sharp teeth to bite Shenzhou's cervical vertebrae with a click sound. Although Shenzhou was a level 4 new human, the teeth of the Tyrannosaurus Rex could even bite through the skull of a level 4 zombie. If Shenzhou was a level 4 zombie, the Tyrannosaurus Rex might have taken a few more bites. However, the Tyrannosaurus Rex bit off the cervical vertebra of a mere new human without even using all its strength. As we all know, once a human's cervical vertebra is bitten off, all parts of her body below the neck will be paralyzed. Shenzhou was no exception. When the blood behind her neck splattered and her cervical vertebrae broke with a crack, Shenzhou's fist fell down powerlessly. Then, Shenzhou's legs softened, and she knelt down directly in front of Lin Kong with a thump. Finally, Shenzhou's body also fell directly on the ground. The only part of Shenzhou that could move was her head. Lin Kong rushed forward quickly. He raised his fist and smashed it on Shenzhou's head. "No!" Zuba shouted hoarsely. The green-haired young man took a step back, and he didn't dare to rescue him. Lin Kong certainly didn't care about Zuba's voice to stop him. His fist continued to smash down. In Shenzhou's eyes, Lin Kong's fist was rapidly enlarging. Moreover, there was a hard short horn on this fist. Bang! There was a bang. Not surprisingly, Shenzhou's head was directly blown up by a punch. Chapter 325, Run. Since you want to kill me, I won't let you go. This is Lin Kong's logic. When Shenzhou was fighting with Zhu Linyun, she had already exposed a big flaw, a woman who is easily controlled by emotions. Lin Kong seized this flaw and killed her easily. After killing Zhao Guang and Shenzhou, Lin Kong did not stop there. There were 4 enemies in total, and he only killed 2. He raised his bloody right fist. Turning suddenly, Lin Kong aimed his fist at the green-haired young man. The green-haired man was terrified. "Ah, don't. Just now, Lin Kong killed Zhao Guang with one punch because a small green pterosaur suddenly ran out of his sleeve. The green-haired young man had been paying attention to the deadly little pterosaur. After the little pterosaur killed Zhao Guang, it flew back into the sleeve of the triangular green-skinned man. So, when this triangular green-skinned man pointed that terrible fist at himself, the green-haired young man was terrified. He retreated again and again, fearing that a green light would suddenly fly out of Lin Kong's sleeves and kill him in seconds. However, to the surprise of the green-haired young man, the sleeves of the triangular green man did not move at all. There was no scary green light coming out of it. The green-haired young man breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that Lin Kong was trying to scare him. But, at the moment he relaxed, he suddenly found Lin Kong's mouth raised a strange smile. Then, puff, a green light shot out from his throat. The intense pain instantly passed into his mind. The green-haired young man immediately understood. The green little pterosaur actually launched a sneak attack from behind my neck. At the moment of life and death, he quickly figured out the conspiracy of this triangular green man. The reason why the triangular green man punched me was just to scare me so that all my attention would be focused on his fist. But at this moment, I ignored the defense behind me. On the surface, this triangular green man put the green pterosaur into his sleeves, but in fact, this cunning guy probably let the pterosaur sneak out of his trouser legs along his clothes. Then, when he killed Shenzhou, he quietly let the pterosaur ambush behind me. After Shenzhou died, while I was still shocked, this guy immediately attacked me. Too insidious, too cunning, too scary. When the green-haired young man figured out what the triangular green man did, he felt deeply frightened, and a chill rose up his spine. He regretted very much that he shouldn't have pointed a submachine gun at a monster. The green-haired young man no longer had the courage to fight this triangular green man. His neck was bleeding. The green-haired young man wanted to cover the huge hole in his neck with both hands, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't even lift his hands. To be precise, All the parts of the green-haired young man's body below his neck were out of his control, because, just now, when the forest pterosaur pierced his neck, it also broke the cervical vertebrae on his neck. The green-haired young man opened his eyes wide, and his trembling pupils were filled with great fear. Utilda puff utilda, blood kept flowing out of his mouth. The green-haired young man wanted to speak. He wanted to kneel down and beg for mercy from the terrible triangular green man, but he couldn't do it. His throat had been pierced, and he couldn't make a sound at all. Bang! The body of the green-haired young man fell to the ground. He turned his head hard and showed a begging expression to Lin Kong, hoping that Lin Kong would have pity and mercy and let him go. But of course, Lin Kong would not let him go. The original text is in Liu number 9 at book/bar. Just now, the green-haired young man pointed a submachine gun at Lin Kong. With such hostile behavior, how could Lin Kong not kill him? Since you want to kill others, then of course you have to be prepared to be killed by others. Tap, tap, tap. Lin Kong walked step by step to the head of the green-haired youth. The reason why he walked so slowly was to test the reaction of the last enemy, Scarface. If Scarface came to save the green-haired youth, Lin Kong would kill him as well. However, what surprised Lin Kong a little was that Scarface Zuba did not rush up to fight with Lin Kong angrily, nor did he run away in fear. Zuba just stood there, looking at a loss. Seeing that Zuba had no intention of attacking him, Lin Kong stepped on the head of the green-haired youth. In the eyes of the green-haired youth, Lin Kong's right foot stained with blood was rapidly enlarging. The green-haired youth wanted to shout no, but could only make an unclear Just when the green-haired youth thought that his head was going to explode like Shenzu's head, the next second, he was surprised to find that Lin Kong's foot only stepped lightly on his head. He did not use his full strength. Therefore, the green-haired youth is still alive for the time being. Lin Kong stepped on the cheek of the green-haired youth with his foot. After finding that the guy under his feet had indeed lost the will to resist, he looked up at Zuba and asked his question calmly, "Why don't you attack me like your partner?" In Lin Kong's heart, he guessed that Zuba and Wu Feng had a good relationship, so this scarred face would remain neutral and not attack him. However, Lin Kong guessed wrong. There was a very terrifying reason behind Zuba's failure to attack. Zuba did not answer Lin Kong's question directly. He shook his head at Lin Kong, then sighed and advised, "Run quickly. Maybe it's not too late to run now." "Run? Why should I run?" Lin Kong frowned slightly, not understanding the scarred face's thoughts. The current situation is that Lin Kong has killed 3 bald strong men in a second, and the only enemy left is this scarred face. Anyone with a little bit of brains should understand that Lin Kong has an absolute advantage. Although Zuba is also a level 4 new human, he has not yet reached the level of level 5 and is no match for Lin Kong. At this moment, Zuba told Lin Kong to run. Lin Kong was really puzzled. Does this scarred face think he can kill me alone? Lin Kong couldn't help but reveal a mocking expression on his face. Although he has killed 3 enemies in succession, there are still 4 level 4 wind god pterosaurs in the sky waiting for orders. I haven't exerted my full strength yet. Lin Kong didn't believe that Zuba could defeat him. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.